every... What day is it?
Tuesday?
Tuesday night! His ghost returns to wreak his horrible vengeance.
Oh, but tonight's Tuesday night!
Then he'll be coming.
Fade in.
I mean, I'm not the only one that's ever been bullied by this company. And I know that so deeply.
Cancel culture is real, it's insane, and it's growing exponentially, and it's coming to a neighborhood near you.
When we look at cancel culture here at home, we see those efforts to cancel or silence those that they don't want the people to hear from.
I mean, I'm on that fucking show. Now I got to watch what the fuck I say.
For you to get this kid death threats and hurl racial slurs at him because you safe in your own home like a coward behind a computer and nobody know who you are, you need to take a hard look at yourself in the mirror.
You'd be surprised how people act way differently than they do on the internet in comparison to how they act in real life.
80% of Americans, young, old, rich, poor, conservative, liberal, white, minority, all hate the current atmosphere of hypersensitivity. Yeah, everybody hates it, and no one stands up to it.
I don't have a problem with power. I have a huge problem with abuse of power.
How stupid is that cancel thing? They're literally running out of people to cancel. They're going after dead people now. They're trying to cancel John Wayne.
I am never going to dignify these losers and interact with them ever. I don't care how much money somebody offers me. I'm never going to do social media because of this.
It's one of the negative things that came from the internet. Is that it got a bunch of people being able to get away with just being disrespectful to the point to where you're tying people to the worst of the absolute worst.
So that when the woke mob comes after you for some ridiculous offense, you'll stand your ground. Stop apologizing. Because I can't keep up anymore with who's on the shit list.
It's really easy to tweet #FireWhomever. And the fact is, anyone who does that, you're a fucking trash person.
Don't try to ruin my life with lies when your life can be ruined with the truth.
Memo to social justice warriors. When what you're doing sounds like an Onion headline, stop.
Why would you sit at your house and tweet or send something to a kid to give him death threats? You need to take a good look in the mirror and realize you're just a freaking loser.
This idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly.
Green lights, baby. Let's go.
Say, kids, what time is that?
Tonight's Tuesday night!
I don't know about this change in time. I'm all discombobulated here.
Mm-hmm.
How's everybody doing?
I'm good. I'm
wow.
good.
All right, that good, huh?
I'm good. The old blood pump's going.
Nice.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Nice.
we're here, breathing.
All right, before we introduce ourselves and wait for the rest of the crew to show up, let's hail the chat. Hello, chat. All the people in the chat watching. Thanks for
Hello,
participating.
chat.
We hit a milestone today. Did everybody watch Lorena's interview with us today?
I didn't watch it. I have to. I know. I'll watch it after we're done.
You are so fired.
I was catching up on my
I was at the
Vikings.
vet. I
Sorry.
was sick kitty.
Well, I get why.
Hello, everyone.
I'm sad you couldn't join us that day. It's awful, but
Yeah.
we had to meander on. You know what? It ended up a lot of Star Trek talk at the end, anyway. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Lorena and Fat Steven are huge Trekkies. So
Cool.
But we went over 250 subscribers today, which is our
Very
first
nice.
milestone hit, and a lot of that is thanks to those two. So
Excellent.
thank you, and hail to the community. You guys are freaking awesome. This is fun. I mean, these are just the baby steps. This is the acorn that will grow a sprig.
Nice.
That's probably as far as we'll get. We'll get to a sprig.
Great oak.
Mighty.
Mighty oak.
Stacy, how are you?
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent. Yes. I'm still on the Justice League high from last week.
Are you really?
I really am. I don't know.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We keep talking about it like on and off, revisiting it.
Hang on, I got to pop up this chat here. Where's my mouse? I can't find it. I've got windows all over the place here. Thanks, Legends. It might be better for our reputation. Yeah, I still am too. I think that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to see it in the theater, and I'm glad we were with Jerry and Mitch.
Absolutely,
and it was great doing the review on Friday morning with them too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wound up watching it streaming on a admittedly large television, but I'm glad I saw it in the theater first.
Yeah, I have yet to watch it. I did sub to HBO Max, but after the news we're going to cover today, I probably won't be on there very long. I don't know. We'll see. I have yet to watch it. I might watch it tomorrow. I have tomorrow off, and it's going to rain. That seems like the perfect tonic. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
But I do have a Dr. No live stream to prepare for on Friday with Mark Altman. So
very cool.
There's no time. If I take like an afternoon off or a day off, this stuff falls behind. I have to just constantly, this is a job. So I have to stay with it. Anyway, so Pete, how are you?
Doing okay. Mostly. I have unfortunately a sick kitty.
Aww.
He's licked himself bald from the waist down. So it looks like he's wearing no pants.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
My cat does that to herself on her belly.
I was just about to drink my Cara Dune tea when you said that.
So, no, but he's unfortunately losing a lot of fluff. So we're trying to figure out what's wrong with him. So
we got to get him some pants.
Got to knit him some pants.
That'd be awesome. Cat pants.
I don't know, Con Guy. I don't think the acorn will grow the charter oak. But
hey,
if you're in Connecticut, that's an inside joke.
Yes.
Yes. Well, while we wait for Edson and Judah Buddha, who's driving Miss Daisy right now. Hey, Mr. Londell.
Yeah, seriously.
Indeed, Mr. Londell.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully your kitty gets better, Pete.
I'm hoping so.
I think he'll be okay.
The only thing worse than a sick pet is I won't say.
Don't even say the words.
Not even saying. I said I wasn't going to say it. News of the weird. Not so weird. Couldn't find it weird. But I thought this was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like everybody's dream. Like
you
go to a yard sale or a flea market. Like you're just looking for this like get rich quick thing, right? You can find some artifact, buy it for 50 cents and turn it into thousands of dollars.
Yeah. I'm telling you, my cat does it too. She's got anxiety. My cat, I think that's why I think it's the winter too.
Could be the
Don't know.
Change. Maybe she's itchy, like dry skin.
She's been doing it for 3 years. Grows back in the summer.
So, small porcelain bowl that cost $35 at a yard sale and turned out to be a rare 15th century Chinese artifact sold at Sotheby's.
Sotheby's.
There are things I cannot say. I don't make me say this 10 times and I'm going to get it wrong.
Sotheby's.
Sotheby's.
Hello, Sotheby.
Sotheby's. Gold saying with an accent.
No, that for $721,800.
Creeping mother.
Insane. I know.
That's awesome, man. Can you imagine that?
I mean, it's a beautiful little bowl. I mean, I don't know if I would have paid $35. I probably would have tried to like bargain them. Like, hey, I'll give you like $20 for that. Like,
yeah.
You know, we should.
It's really pretty.
This guy, man. It's a Connecticut man.
Yeah, they don't say who.
Bought the bowl from a yard sale near New Haven last year and emailed photos to Sotheby's. See,
there you go.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
I got it right.
Yes, you did.
He had an idea it was something special, possibly, obviously.
Right.
You know.
Wow.
Determined that it dates back to the Ming Dynasty. It's like one of those movies that dates back to the Ming Dynasty. Be careful. The early 1400s, and estimated it's worth it between $300,000 and $500,000.
Wow.
It fetched a much higher price as part of Sotheby's.
Yep, got it.
All right. Important Chinese art auction in New York on Wednesday. Sotheby's said this bowl was one of the major stars of the sale, and it set off a 4-way bidding battle.
Wow.
Damn.
That's cray-cray, huh? That is totally cray-cray.
That is nuts.
Thank you, Jedi 6. I'm trying. I mess things up. I can't say femininity. I can't.
Femininity. Femininity.
I was watching their show last night, Toxic Femininity.
You got it. There it is, right there.
I'm like, what's his name? On Finding Nemo. You know, he lives in the femininity.
The little squid, little octopus kid.
Nemo. Oh, Nemo.
Oh, Nemo himself.
They're like, where do you live? Femininity.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Of the other 6 bowls of this kind known to exist, Angela McAteer, the Sotheby's senior vice president and head of Chinese Works of Art department, said that most are in museums and none are in the United States.
Wow.
2 are in the National Museum in Taipei, Taiwan. 2 are at museums in London, and 1 is in the National Museum of Iran in Tehran, according to Sotheby's.
Huh.
Sotheby. I have to think of it. Like
Sotheby. Tea, please.
Hey, thanks, Jedi 6, for pushing that. You know, I should make a little thing that says like. And I got too much to think about here. The cobalt blue painted bowl is 6 inches in diameter and shaped like a lotus bud or a chicken heart, according to a write-up of the auction website.
A lotus bud?
It's adorned with blossoms of lotus, peony, chrysanthemum, and pomegranate flowers, with a medallion at the bottom and bordered by a brand of lotus scrolls around the rim. McAteer said the bowl has all the characteristics and hallmarks of the early Ming period, noting its smoothness, silky glaze, and distinctive color and design.
And rich Corinthian leather.
Well, hello there, little bowl. So, yeah, that's pretty freaking cool, man. I've always tried to do that when I go to a flea market or something. I try to find something that I would recognize will be worth more, not like $700,000, but even like, you know, something collectible that they don't know what they have, like a comic book, say.
Exactly.
They don't know that they have Action Comics #1 and it's listed for $10, or they want and you give them
I'll take it for cover price. It looks pretty old.
I'll give you $25 for it. Yeah. They think they ripped me off, right?
That's funny.
So yeah, good on this guy. What would you do with $721,000 for a bowl?
A dance. I'd do a dance. No.
A dance.
Definitely.
A jig?
A jig, for sure.
Would you do that? What's that Irish? The clog dance thing. What was that? Irish
Step dancing.
Step dancing. Yeah.
I would do whatever. Yeah. That'd be like winning the lottery.
It would.
Yeah.
I think I'd go like buy a house and a car with cash.
I'd go buy some like new bowls. And maybe in hundreds of years it'd be worth it. Pass them down to my.
It won't help me, Jedi 6. I'm sorry. I just can't say it. Like I trip over the consonants. The feminine.
You're psyching yourself out. You're psyching yourself out with it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
I just say to Lorena, I watched you on Toxic Femmes.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Keep it
simple. You're an abbreviator.
I am an abbreviator. It's all about brevity. Right?
On TF. There you go.
I don't get most of the abbreviations. I have to ask you, but that's
what would you do with the money, Pete?
What would I do with the money? Well, since there was the Zack Snyder's charity thing is over, I wouldn't give it there. I'm not sure. Maybe back a few Kickstarters for indie comics.
Jedi 6 would buy more bowls.
I would buy new bowls.
There you go.
Put them away for future generations, and in
there you go.
Just a few short hundreds of years, maybe they'll be worth something. No,
it's just pretty wild. I mean, you hear about these crazy stories, and in fact, it was somebody near us that did that. Even cool.
And it looks really good for being that old. It looks like
no
it's
kidding, no chips or anything.
I know.
Perfect.
Right. You're right here. I'll put it back up real quick.
Dan Leroy, a full Godzilla costume, as would I.
That's funny.
Leroy.
That's a good buy.
I
know. I don't know what I'd buy, but that would be fun.
Full Godzilla costume. Good
I just
man.
buy a bunch of new
Good
records.
purchase.
I make a bunch of records. Sweet sound system.
But would it be screen used? It has to be screen used, right? If you're going to get a Godzilla costume.
Oh, right.
You know, come on.
However,
you just get a Godzilla costume. It's got to be like legit.
There actually is a life-size Godzilla statue that you
See,
can get
Mr.
for like
Lundell is-
$80,000.
Oh, it's a bargain. Look at that.
Yeah,
You got plenty of money
still have
left
plenty
over.
left over, right?
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Lundell, he invests for the future. Look at Mr. Lundell.
That's smart. That's
Clearly
smart.
smart with his money.
Yeah.
Yeah, screen. There you go, Dan. Screen.
Investing's always a good thing, Weed maps.
Exactly. So, I found this this could have even be slipped into news of the weird.
Yeah.
Memo, Al Jean. What do you mean you're unsure how much longer the show has left? The show's been on borrowed time for over a decade.
I know.
Yeah.
Do people even watch it? Or is it
I'm
like,
surprised the show's still on. In all seriousness,
I really am too. It's almost like it's on. It's like a trolling thing that it's on. How long we can keep this thing going?
Yeah, I think that's why they keep it
I
going.
don't know anybody who watches it. It can't be getting. I mean, we could check the ratings, but with The Simpsons renewed for seasons 33 and 34 through the year 2020,
mother,
bringing the total number of episodes to 757. Showrunner Al Jean admits he doesn't know how much longer the long-running animated series can last. However, even when the show does finally end, Jean suspects a reboot will not be far behind. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh, for God's sakes! Yeah, it'll look like that horrible Cal Arts design.
Yeah, you're right. It probably will.
I know.
Yes, he is.
That's what it'll be. That's it. Legends. That's what it'll be. That will be the reboot. Bart will be Grandpa.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's funny.
So,
that's crazy.
we're definitely going. We're going to do definitely 757. Gene sent an interview with Variety ahead of the Simpsons landmark 700th episode, which airs this Sunday. Which might have been this past Sunday. Because this was 4 days ago.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that's the end, but I don't know how much further we can go. According to Variety, Gene laughs at the idea of the series reaching 1,000 episodes, with the showrunner pointing out that reaching that milestone would take another 12 years.
Wow.
Another 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, SNL's been on for what, 46 years?
Yeah, but they have rotating casts.
True. It's not the same thing over and over. That's true.
It's not the same thing over and over like this. I saw this headline. I was like, this like the headline's a joke, right? Like, what do you mean?
I know. We're like, oh, is that still on?
Well, I know it's still on.
No, I know, but it feels like it. Like I never see like commercial. I don't know.
I think the shocking part is finding out that Al Jean still works on the show. He's one of the original guys.
Why wouldn't he? It's probably not too grueling of work.
Cashing a lot of good checks.
Yeah, I would imagine they're probably phoning it in at this point.
Yeah. Pretty funny. The Simpsons.
Crazy. Yeah. So, well, good luck. But okay, I'd love to, see some polling or something. Like, who the hell even watches this?
I know. Something I don't see on before or after it, and maybe people just tune into that.
Well,
I don't know.
it's part of the whole that animation block they do on Sunday night. So you got Bob's Burgers and
right
a new one by the same people with what's his face, Offerman. Nick Offerman's in it.
Yeah, they always have some show that's only going to last one season.
Yeah, it'll probably last longer. And then they have Family Guy, of course, that's overstayed its welcome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't watch any of those anymore. I used to sit there on Sunday night and sit through that whole block and relax before Monday's the travesty of Monday morning.
There's nothing I don't think I wait all week to tune into, except for I think the only thing I do that for is Bill Maher on Friday nights.
The only
I
thing
I watch
wait all week to tune into is
or SNL
is whatever's new on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't really watch too much YouTube.
I don't tune in. I don't wait for bated breath for anything. So
yeah, I like stuff that's already gone by, so I can watch all the episodes in a row, no commercials.
Look at you.
I know.
You're a binger.
I am a binger. I'm a classic binger.
Binger, Stacy.
Yeah, I know. I have a binging problem.
Actually,
well, the first stage is to admit that you have a problem.
I don't want to change it though. I like it.
Well, okay then. Step 1, done.
I don't mind being a binger. I'm just saying.
There is no step 2.
There you go. Keep binging.
Keep binging. Edson brought this story, and he's not here yet. He just texted that he's going to be a little late. NFL finalizes new 11-year media rights deal. Amazon gets exclusive Thursday night rights. This is insane. what these people are paying.
Wow.
For football. So the league better
nice
reciprocate.
There you go.
I do like Superman and Lois, and my review is painfully late for episodes 1 to 3. It's almost done.
I was watching it the day after though, so I wasn't like I'm not watching it when it's
I watch them on the
right on
for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are the highlights. The new agreement runs through 2033 and will feature 2 Super Bowls returning to Disney ABC network channel. Disney's ABC network channel. What is that?
I have no idea.
I don't either. Amazon is paying about $1 billion a year, according to people familiar with the matter. Viacom, CBS, Fox, and Comcast, which owns NBC Universal, are all paying more than $2 billion per year for their packages, while Disney, which owns ESPN and ABC, will pay around $2.7 billion annually, according to people familiar with the matter. This is insane. Hey, PJ.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going? Hail to you, sir.
Yeah, Bingers Unite. I think we should get that. We should be like kind of a support group where we just like, you know.
Yes. So it's an 11-year media rights agreement with a pact that will run through 2023 and could be worth over $100 billion in total. Amazon Prime will be an exclusive partner for Thursday Night Football. It's the first time a streaming service will carry a full package of games exclusively. Amazon is paying about $1 billion per year, according to people from. We already saw that in the highlights.
Exclusively.
Exclusive.
So you have to have Prime to watch Thursday night. So if your team is playing Thursday night, you have to have Prime.
Yeah, it says
I
exclusive.
mean, I always
right?
have Prime, but yeah.
Because this past season they were splitting it. So if it was on Fox, you know,
But weren't
Fox
they also
it
putting
was
it
also on Amazon?
Right. That's what I.
But
Yeah.
This says exclusive.
Yeah, that's kind of. Do they mean exclusive for streaming or exclusive for all outlets?
That's
That's
yeah.
the question, right?
It's the first time a streaming service will carry a full package of games exclusively. That tells me that Thursday Night Football is streaming only.
Or do they mean like there were other streaming services that took turns too? It wasn't just Prime. Do you know what I mean? Because it wasn't. It was on another streaming service. It was.
Oh yeah,
available.
they put like a playoff game on something else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so maybe no other streaming services are going to have only
Correct.
Prime. I can't imagine them taking it off regular network television.
Yeah, you think, Dan?
Oh,
They're
don't say that. It's gone up enough. I'm good.
$1 billion a year to have one game a week. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Londell in the house is right. Yeah. So, wow. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
amazing. When
nuts.
I was a kid, the NFL like could barely, get on TV. There was games that were just not covered. They didn't have the audience they do now. It's amazing what a machine that league has become. So yeah, the funny part is they don't pay taxes.
They're a charity. They're a charitable organization.
They are set up as a charity.
Mm.
Yeah. So anyway,
Didn't that change recently? I think, or something. I don't know.
It should. And not only that, like when they have the military honors, the military has to pay to do it.
Get out of town.
Yeah. Yes, they do. Yes.
That's shenanigans.
Yes, it is shenanigans. Oh yeah, no, the NFL is a criminal organization.
It's a corporation.
Yeah, a corporation that's listed.
Synonymous, isn't corruption and corporation synonymous?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of that in the news this week. Oh, Jedi 6. You're a Bears fan, huh? Nice. Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan. Stacy's a Seahawks fan.
Yes. And when I had Sunday Ticket, it seemed like more than half of the games were on regular TV. I was paying for Sunday Ticket, and then I get rid of Sunday Ticket and then go to something else, and I get to see like 3 games a season. Like if it's Monday Night Football, or it's like, what the hell, man?
Quick question for you. What's going to happen if?
Oh, shut up! Don't even say it.
All right. It was just
Yep.
Not
What do
bad.
you want? No, wait.
Yeah,
My son's a Saints fan, so he's like, pushing for it. I'm like, shut up. So stop it.
Jedi 6. I worked with Mike Ditka for a few years over at Espen.
How was he?
ESPN's literally like 8 miles from me, and every year for the Super Bowl, but the week between the championship and the Super Bowl, we did these special shows where we blacked out the studio and we projected images on all these projector screens and whatnot. So I was brought in to kind of manage all that. And yeah, Ditka was great. The funny part about Mike Ditka is we had projectors on the floor to do that. And we learned the first couple of years he would kick them. He'd get up and go to the bathroom and it was kind of dark and he'd kick them and knock them out of alignment all the time. And we were like, Jesus. So we started to Ditka proof the studio with glowing tape.
That's hilarious.
They walk here and he still kick it.
That's funny.
But Jedi 6, this is for you. I'm going to share with you the worst thing that ever happened to me. It was one of the last times I was there because once they built their second digital center, they could just move monitors up and down through. It's all digital. They didn't need us anymore to come in and do that. And so one of the last shows, I was really had to go to the bathroom. I was running the computers and I really had to go to the bathroom. So I was waiting for a commercial break. Commercial comes up and I run out of the studio. And I'm in this I walk in the bathroom and there's like 6 or 7 urinals and probably 5 or 6 stalls, and it's totally empty. So I go straight to the first urinal, and as I hear the door, and then the second door, and I hear, and I knew it's him. I knew it was Coach. And sure, we got the whole room's empty, right? What does he do?
Right next to you.
He walks right up next to me.
Of course.
Now, Coach is like a sweetheart. He's a teddy bear. But he's also 6'11", or he's huge. He's a big dude. I'm not. I'm 5'7". So he's kind of towering over me. And even though he's really nice, I froze, right? I was like, I can't pee. He's a very intimidating human being. And he's like, "Hey, how's it going there, son?" And I said, Great, Coach. Great. I'm thinking, couldn't you have just peed one urinal away?
Oh my gosh.
Just leave a buffer.
Yes.
I just couldn't wait for him to get out of there.
That's
and then when I went back in the studio, he had kicked the projector again. Yeah, Mark and it was Mark and Jason were on the floor trying to realign it again.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, we could not Ditka proof the place at all.
Ditka.
So that's my favorite Mike Ditka story, that he peed next to me and almost caused
Gave you stage fright.
He gave me
con guy.
Yeah. And the first time I worked with him, I had to sit under the desk. So him and Tom Jackson were kind of doing the yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Now I'd be safe. He'd have to go 2 urinals away.
There are good things that came out of this.
So I'm sitting, I had to run the computer, but the computer was under the desk because I was projecting stuff on the back wall and I had to change logos on the fly when they were calling up teams. And so Tom Jackson was to my facing left and Ditka was on my right. And I had my hand on the ground and freaking Ditka rolled his chair back over my hand.
Oh.
And he stopped on my hand.
Oh my God.
And I can't say anything, right? I'll make noise. I can't make noise. I'm like, oh my God. And finally.
You're like Marty in Back to the Future too.
Yes. Totally. Oh my God. I was in so much freaking pain. And finally, Tom Jackson looked down and saw it because he must have saw me like freaking out and trying to get Ditka's attention that he rolled on my hand. And Tom Jackson, like, you all right? I'm like, he's on my hand.
Oh man. He didn't even know the lump. He didn't even notice.
Didn't even notice. That's what I loved about him. He was really he was a great guy. I had so much fun. I remember I got so many stories with Ditka and those guys. The end thing. It was fun. They were good. Chris Carter,
he has lots of bathroom adventure stories.
Yeah, it was one of those where you just kind of look at the ceiling and just wait for him to leave. You know.
Guy problems.
So yeah.
Problems.
Well, it was because it was Ditka. If it was any other dude, it probably wouldn't have mattered. It's just he's just big and intimidating. And even though I knew him, and there was another time he came up one time. I was working on graphics, and he just comes up and he grabs my coffee and starts drinking it.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, and he's chugging it, and all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, this isn't mine. I don't know why I did that. Sorry, son." It's yours now, Coach. I don't want it. Great guy. They were fun. It was a good time. I'm sad they built that second building, and that was the end of the freelancers. So
Funny. Aw.
yeah. So San Diego Comic-Con goes virtual this summer, in person in November. So they're gonna have 2 Comic-Cons.
Apparently.
Well, is it really Comic-Con when it's virtual? I mean,
No,
they just want to make some announcements or whatever.
It is
probably.
awful. So they're only doing it for 3 days this year. Last year they did it for 5.
Oof.
And we started live streaming actually because of that. I said to Pete and Jude, like, why don't we cover the Comic-Con every day?
He did say that. Almost verbatim.
The sad part is it was awful. I mean, it was really bad.
Yeah.
Everything was canned and edited, and there was like no energy and excitement.
Well, they probably had more. They've had more time to hopefully make it better this year, right? I mean, last year was probably like rushed.
I don't know.
It virtual,
rushed
no?
so much as they made the decision to can everything, so there was nothing live.
Mm.
You go to a Comic-Con is that you're interacting with the creators, right? Everything is live. It's the fan interaction.
Mhm.
This thing was so bad, and it was so pre-canned, and it was manipulated to, basically tell you what they wanted to tell you. Like you couldn't ask any questions, and that's the sad part. Like the Comic-Con thing is all about
The fans and the
but interactivity.
Yeah.
Activity. So by reducing it to 3 days, I hope they do more live stuff like this. Like what we're doing right now is what they should be doing. right?
Absolutely.
But when they do that, yeah, Coach is great. Yeah. The problem is when they do that, then things can come out that they don't want to come out.
Mm.
So they can control the messaging a lot better when it's all edited and but if you looked at the viewing numbers, I mean, their YouTube channel, I haven't looked in a while. I think they had something like 2, maybe 3 million subscribers, and they had some videos that were in double digit for views.
Wow.
Like 80, 86, some of these things. And I think, the biggest ones had a couple thousand, but any of the bigger YouTubers like Gary or Doomcock or Midnight's Edge smoked like all their videos, with what, a couple 100,000 subscribers. So it was really, really poorly done. It was just awful. So, and then regarding the November in-person event, San Diego Comic-Con offered the following. As the timing and scope of our larger event factored greatly into our decision to postpone, we believe that launching a smaller in-person event at a later time may be a safe alternative. For this reason, we are happy to announce that San Diego Comic Convention is planning to present a 3-day in-person convention in San Diego in November. At this time, we are still working on specific details as to attendance capacity, badge costs, and related information. All those details will be forthcoming. This is going to...
That was a pretty good Johnny Carson you were doing there.
What I was doing? I don't even know what I was doing.
I don't know. It sounded like Johnny.
I was doing like wiener announcer guy, I guess.
Orville Nation knows something we don't.
What's this?
Orville Nation. PJ seems to know something that we don't.
Well, really, PJ?
We're hoping so.
Yeah, really. If you've looked ahead into the future, have you?
He's got a crystal ball.
I think he's time traveled.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Lundell. And that's the spontaneity they lost. And this is more spontaneous. They can do this model. If they go to attendance capacity, that's going to be a huge problem because this thing is a CF to begin with. When they put the tickets on sale, like you have to have been a previous attendee, and then to have access, and which it takes minutes for the thing to sell out because everyone comes back.
Right.
So who do you cut out?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you got to go by like longevity, right? Oh, you've been coming to the con for 20 years, so you get first dibs. The people who come to the con for
or like a lottery, maybe.
Or a lot. But then is it fair that someone who just came like for the first time last year gets in, and somebody who's gone 20 years gets locked out? Yeah. I would think by this time they should be at full capacity, but it is California. So I don't know. Oops, I already said that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was looking for this one. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, like, I can't believe like we're already where we are in 5 months, and most of that is actually the last 2.5. Like once we met you, PJ, everything changed. You have changed our trajectory completely. Yeah. Oh, I heard the chimes.
There it is.
At 8:35.
Edson.
Hey,
Hello there.
Sorry.
You missed our NFL thing.
Yeah, that's to the tune of $113 billion with a B. Yep.
Insane.
Yeah.
And yes, to answer your question, Amazon has exclusive rights to Thursdays.
So it's
So that means no other
Right.
it won't be like on TV, regular
Right.
TV.
Right.
Wow.
That's what it means.
Insane.
That's the sign of the
Wow.
times with the streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people have Amazon Prime, don't they? Though. I mean,
Probably, but I don't know.
Let me ask you this, Edson, before we move on.
Yeah.
Who have you stood next to at a urinal that freaked you out?
I heard your story. I don't think I want to answer that question. But I definitely had those experiences where someone just like you're the only one in there, and they go right next to you.
So
It's like
funny.
then I'm all self-conscious. I'm like, especially if it's a big person. It was like,
Because it was Ditka, it was like really.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, really? Like he's just that lovable grandpa, you know? It's just like, Coach, come on, dude. The whole room's empty.
He liked you. He didn't want to make you feel.
He
awful.
did. We had a fun give and take a lot. Yeah. But yeah, Chris Carter and I formed a pretty good friendship too. Go on every channel that invites you and invite people onto yours. That's the best way to get exposure. Just some. Oh, you don't have a channel? Jedi 6? You probably should. I see you in all the chats everywhere I go. And I do try to get in as many streams as I can when
Oh yeah, Keith's working hard.
when the
He
paying
hustles.
when the
He's a
paying thing
hustler.
doesn't get in the way.
Yeah.
Go on as many as I can because I don't want to say no and get forgotten right away.
Pele. Like the soccer,
yeah,
the
you
soccer
can
legend?
you can call me Pele. Yep. That's what I was named after. So go right ahead.
You're a soccer coach too, aren't you?
Yeah, I was with actually your brother for
Yeah.
a while in the school. Yeah, so that my father's a big soccer fan, and that's not a lot of people know that Edson is Pele's actual first name.
Wow.
So
And now you know.
that was a
And
big
knowing is
disappointment
half
for
the
him.
battle.
Where's
I'm
Judas
sure
comes Brady
not.
from? You can give PJ a prize for that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you made it for this one, Edson, because this one I picked just
Oh boy.
for you. Well, before I pull it up, I just want to say that like there's a projection right now that the superhero thing is this tipping point is gonna fry out in the next 4 to 5 years, or maybe 3 to 5 years. And the thinking now is they're going to move on to anime adaptations because the manga is selling like crazy. The anime is not, right? Boom!
Holy cow! Oh wow!
I didn't see this.
I didn't see this at all. No.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this series on and off. They made a movie of it one time and I got it off. It was really great. I saw it on Netflix and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
this is great.
So the series is being published by Ablaze and will be set in the timeline of the original series. Just a little quick backstory for people watching. Back in the 80s, Edson and I were obsessed with this as a result of watching Robotech, Macross, that kind of thing. So the original Captain Harlock manga was serialized in Akira Shoten's play comic from 1977 and 1979. It saw Captain Harlock rebel against Earth's government and take the fight to Earth's oppressors, a race of vegetable-based women called the Maison.
Wait, what? Vegetable based?
Yeah. Yes.
And so what would I be, a meat-based woman?
Yeah.
You're
not on Twitter trying to cancel people. Those would be vegetable based.
Right. That's it.
I do like oat milk in my latte, but whatever.
Wait, is this saying that it's a movie or a comic?
I think it's a comic.
Great. Oh wow, great.
The official description begins set within the timeline of the original series. This brand new Captain Harlock adventure marks the beginning of a new story arc. Planet Earth is threatened by an upcoming invasion by the Sylvedries, and despite being banished as a pirate, Captain Harlock won't give up trying to save the world. Of course not, because that's what he does. This time, the source of danger comes directly from Earth, not outer space. A team of scientists discovers a Sylvedris mausoleum where they find information about terrifying genetic manipulations and destructive power capable of either providing the Sylvedris with immortality or putting an end to their civilization. Blah. Really doing well with the pronunciation. It concludes the unprecedented cold spell hitting Earth might only be a taste of what this new enemy has in store. Will Captain Harlock and his crew manage to solve this mystery and save Earth from yet another menace? Find out in Captain Harlock, Space Pirate.
He's such a cool guy. He's like always very mysterious, very like not personable. But then when he goes into action, you see it.
Yep.
Is that the person with the skull and crossbones?
Yeah.
It's a guy?
Yes.
Yes.
The artist Jerome I'm butchering that one. Jerome
Al.
I'm very happy that Jerome Alquay is drawing the story about Captain Harlock. Seeing the manuscript, I could feel the passion that this work is carried out with and the passion of the young people who pursue their dreams. All the details are drawn with great care, and the universe of the series is perfectly reproduced. So that looks like them right there. So
who's the publisher? Ablaze? Is that
Ablaze? Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
fantastic.
It goes way back. I couldn't tell you the first thing about it anymore. I mean, this was like the cover of one of the VHS copies I had of it.
It looks like it, yeah.
Doesn't it? I don't remember anything about it except him Captain Harlock himself. But
right. Yep.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the plan. Ultimately. But yeah, I know. Jedi 6, I'm with you, man.
Yeah, they were.
With you. It's just, man.
Wow, I had not heard that one. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. You came just in time.
Yeah. Perfect.
I didn't save it either. It was just in the I try to, when I pull all these headlines, I try to put them in an order that makes sense.
Right.
And that one just kind of was
plopped in there.
It wasn't so much plopped in there as it was the first one in a chapter that will disintegrate, but not. Let's just say, look, we're going from that to this. Okay.
Oh gosh.
You want to take the lead on this one since you found it?
Wow. Yeah, so this is Infinite Frontier is DC's newest I mean, they only relaunch 2-3 times a year now. I mean,
Their annual relaunch.
It used to be a big event where maybe like once every 10 years they would do something, and not even back then, but now now it's like they start something that's like a new look, and they get that initial buying spree because everybody wants to know what the new thing is, and then it of course they find people realize it's pretty much crap, and then the sales go down, and then they come up with a new way to relaunch again. This is the newest one, Infinite Front. I believe it's next month, Infinite Frontier, and what you see here is like a it's not called Justice League, but it's trying to think what they're called. It's basically a team of heroes like the Justice League, but each one coming from a different universe. Now it's like the multiverse version of the Justice League,
like a bunch of super friends.
Yeah, Justice, right. And of course, you see I'm not sure what his real name, but that's President Superman. I mean, it's not President Superman, whatever his real name is. He's supposed to be a president of one of the worlds, not ours. So that's going to be their Superman. I believe they got Barry Allen from our universe. And I
was going to say that's the only one that looks recognizable.
That is the only one. Is that Alan Grant, the Green Lantern from Earth 2, or is it Earth 2? I'm trying to think.
Alan Scott.
Alan Scott, sorry.
Yeah, the original Green Lantern.
Yep. So yeah, they gathered all these heroes from different universes. I'm not sure for what point they're doing it for, except to try to get somebody to buy them. But
and they announced. I forgot to pull that story, but they announced too that some of their books, Batman being one of them, is going to $6 a month now.
Yep.
What?
$6 because they're
$6
putting back
for a
story.
fucking comic book?
Yeah,
because they're going to be 40 pages because they'll be a
22-page comic book for $6.
No.
Well, no.
They're putting backup stories in there that nobody wants.
They still they finally reached my breaking point. I think it's like, come on.
You know, you go back 3 years ago, or when was that? Maybe 4 years ago. Rebirth comes out, and they got it right. They put it back.
Yep.
They put it back the way it was, and everyone loved it. Why do you have to go and screw shit up? Why?
Yeah, I have to admit, yeah, that was one's doing very well, and it lasted more than the initial 5 or 6 month craze. That went on for a few years. Yeah, and people still loved it. Not sure why they want to make this such a big change. Usually it comes about because your sales are down, but they're not their sales are not down, so there's something else.
Their sales are down now.
But right.
They weren't. Rebirth was very well done, and
but they changed. Yeah, they changed that.
They also promised when Rebirth came out that they weren't going to go above $2.99 for a book ever again.
Right.
Ever again.
Right. Actually, well, I don't even remember what was the reboot that changed it from Rebirth. What did Rebirth go to? I don't even remember. It went to something.
I don't know.
I know.
It kind of slowly started disintegrating, and then they did the future state thing,
right?
Yeah. And then they came back with this. So, Batman hasn't been effective. Luckily, the main Batman book is still the same.
Other than increasing the price and adding a backup story, right? Yeah.
But I mean, the main narrative is
yeah.
But who knows when James Tynion's done? It might go the way of everything else. I don't know.
Yep.
It's got a few more comic book stories here. Rob Liefeld.
Oh, okay.
The polarizing Rob Liefeld. Some people love him, some people not so much.
Master of drawing feet.
I was just gonna say that. I love theirs in the Deadpool, the sequel. They take a shot at him about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think something about.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, there's guys who can't draw feet. He goes.
Okay. So this is not...
So this is from Archie Comics. It's a superhero book published by Archie Comics. I might pick this up. I picked up his Snake Eyes comic, and it's not bad at all. Because Rob's a throwback, and I think he understands what the fans really want, and that's why he's staying. He's in the independent world.
Yep.
America's first patriotic superhero, The Shield, returns this June in a new one-shot comic that kicks off a reimagined Mighty Crusaders miniseries from Archie Comics. I wouldn't call him legendary. Well, how about well-known writer-artist Rob Liefeld? I like Rob. Rob's kind of nuts. I actually, his panel on the virtual San Diego Comic-Con last year was the most entertaining.
Well,
he was the most entertaining one. It was like day one too. Remember, Pete? We were into Liefeld. We were like, Liefeld's entertaining. He was fun. And then because he was talking about
everything else kind of took a nosedive.
Yeah. The 4-issue series of one-shots spanning the Mighty Crusaders assortment of superhero characters begins on June 30 with the launch of the Mighty Crusaders Shield #1. Featuring variant covers by Liefeld and a host of renowned industry talent. Ooh, renowned.
Ooh.
Well, color me interested. This series of action-packed one-shots will shine a spotlight on the deep bench of superhero characters in the Archie Comics library, who share a long and storied history alongside the company's more familiar teen and romance publications, while remaining open and accessible to new readers. It just looks like classic shit. That's why I'm going to get it. I mean, look at that.
It does.
It looks vintage. That's
yep.
Archie Comics is working with comic shop retailers to host virtual events, create exclusive variant covers for their stores, and deliver unique one-of-a-kind items to time to the Shield's one-shot. The Shield one-shots launch. Say that 3 times fast. Additional information for retailers will arrive in an upcoming Archie Comics retailer newsletter blast. Still got problems with the feet.
Yeah, he does.
Damn, dude.
At least he doesn't have that giant Captain America chest.
No, but he did put the shoulder pads on.
Well, he is Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, he's got that He's still got that big '90s thing going on.
Is this supposed to be a brand new character?
No, these are apparently classic. Okay. I don't know anything about Archie superheroes.
Yeah,
but caught my eye, and I think I'm going to get this because I'm so frustrated with everything. I'm. For real, come on! What is this shite? I'll tell you why I have this in my hand, okay?
Why do you have that in your hand?
Because I was supposed to go on a stream Friday night with 32 flavors of Nick Weiser. Nick, if you're out there. But because of what happened with Snyder and all that shit, we decided to keep it light and fun and just kind of showed off our action figures. But we were supposed to do this. And now this Friday we're going to do this, but I can't because I have to do the James Bond thing. So I own this comic for nothing. So I'm going to do a review of it.
Okay, then.
See, the plan was we were going to go Friday night. We're going to go on the stream and open it for the first time, all of us, and react to it in real time. But now that I'm not going on, I'm going to have to open it and look at it. But yeah.
Well, it's almost as bad as the one I just told you someone sent to me for free.
Tell the audience what you got for free today.
I wish I brought it down here. Oh, I gotta go. So yeah, when Berserker was announced, I wasn't sure if I was going to get out to a comic book store that week, so I kind of pre-ordered a couple of copies from Midtown, and so I got it today, and along with it came issue number 1 of America Chavez, and I'm like, wait, I don't remember ordering this. And I was looking at my receipt and everything. I didn't order this. They're basically giving this away. What? I mean, I thought this was supposed to be the next big thing, and they're giving it away. Oh my gosh, I was kind of not happy.
Does it say on the on the front cover instead of a price? It says, "Please take it."
No, there's actually a price on the cover.
I saw it in my comic shop the other day, and I was like, they put that out again. Like, it failed so miserably twice now.
But I remember during the Disney conference that they had there, didn't Feige say it's like, oh, the well-known America Chavez or something like that?
I've had
like,
that.
What?
You go back probably 4 or 5 weeks. It's in the opening of one or two
Yeah,
of our openings.
you might have used the word beloved.
He said popular. He said our very popular character. And then I put the sales figures up. And
they're probably trying to make it popular, but they're giving them away. I don't get it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Shield, this is good for retailers. Retail orders for all covers placed by the FOC date will be 100% returnable, no minimum.
Oh, okay.
So here's the variant covers. So we got cover B is by Francesco Francavilla, a great artist. I like his stuff. Cover C, Aaron Lopresti. Cover D, David Mack. Cover E, well, look at that. It's our old friend Jerry Ordway.
I saw him recently.
Yeah. Yes. Didn't we see Jerry? Yeah, we did. Cover F is a top secret, Rob. It'll probably be blank. No, actually, cover G is the blank, and or sketch variant, and then cover H is the blank, where you can take it to a con and get someone to draw custom art on it. So,
wow.
I think I'll go for this.
So it's a one shot, but I wonder if they're going to do a series that one
4
shots.
one-shots.
Okay, and then maybe they'll if it picks up somebody, if it gets picked up a lot, maybe they'll do an ongoing with the whole team. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, this must be cover E is right here. This is Jerry's cover right here. Jerry.
Oh, very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool. I'm in. I'll get it. And guess what? For the low price of $3.99, how can you go wrong? So, we got Berserker.
Oh, yeah.
I actually went and picked up a print copy of Berserker because Keanu sent, it's kind of cool when you go in your inbox and you see Keanu Reeves in your inbox. And I know it's like a bot email because I supported the Kickstarter.
Yep.
And they sent me the digital copy and all this cool, mobile phone wallpapers and all this kind of stuff. All this digital stuff. And did you get that email too, Edson?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay. But I had to go get the print version.
Right.
And I did. And clearly, even just reading number 1 and even leading up to it, it was obvious that, I think he's making this comic to lobby for a new motion picture franchise, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, we all talked about it.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
And anime.
You. Yeah.
Oh, and an anime series.
There you go.
Series based on his not comic books, book There's one issue out.
Well, maybe by the time they do the anime series.
No,
it'll be
of
done.
course. I mean, issue 2 is due out I think, next week or the week
Oh,
after.
there you go. Yeah.
It's still
but
just one title, though. I mean, it's like
it's but the only thing right now you can get is this Berserker #1 right here.
Yeah.
You see right here. That's it.
Yeah.
One book. Netflix has secured the rights to Berserker. They probably bought, when he announced this at the virtual San Diego Comic-Con last year. I remember saying this and going,
The ink was probably starting to dry on this deal.
No, Ron Garney actually was held up because Ron Garney didn't have time to. He took him a while to find time to draw it.
Well, no, he said it in the
No.
Netflix deal.
The ink for this deal was probably
Probably.
still wet when they announced the comic.
Oh, probably. I mean, you take one look at the art and you're like, oh yeah, that's a movie. All right. I mean, it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And clearly, he's a self-insert. Look at the freaking character.
Oh yeah.
Netflix secured the right to Berserker, the Boom Studios published comic book created by Keanu Reeves. Reeves will produce and star. This is shocking to me. I'm like blown away by this.
Is it?
Oh my god!
Such news.
Yes, such news. Reeves will produce and star in the screen adaptations, which will start with the story getting the feature treatment, followed by an anime spin-off series. Which kind of reminds me of when they did the first Matrix, or maybe it was after the second Matrix came out. They did the Animatrix.
Yep.
Right.
But that was just little 10-minute shorts. All different styles, though, which was very cool. Berserker, based on an original idea by Reeves, is co-written by the John Wick star and New York Times best-selling writer Matt Crind, and illustrated by Marvel artist Ron Garney, who lives, 15 minutes away from us, with colors by Bill Crabtree, letters by Clem Robbins, and character designs and covers by Raphael Gramba. The first issue of the 12-issue limited series launched on March 3rd and has already sold over 615,000 copies.
Insane.
Take that, Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. He probably outsold Marvel and all the titles from Marvel and DC
combined
with one book.
I think he did.
The story is about an immortal warrior's 80,000-year fight through the ages. The man, known only as B, is half mortal and half god, cursed and compelled to violence, even at the sacrifice of his sanity. But after wandering the earth for centuries, B might have finally found a refuge, working for the U.S. government to fight battles too violent and too dangerous for anyone else. In exchange, B will be granted the one thing he desires, the truth about his endless blood-soaked existence and how to end it.
Sounds cool.
Give away, pop-up. The series will expand the Berserker universe by exploring different elements of the story, with Reeves reprising his role and voice of the character. Reeves is producing alongside Ross Ritchie and Stephen Christie for Boom Studios, which has a first-look deal for live-action and animated series with Netflix, as well as Stephen Hamel for Company Films. Boom's Adam Yolen will serve as executive producer. Reeves, who recently completed production on Matrix 4 and will begin production on John Wick 4 this spring, is repped by WME, Sugar 23, and Zifrin. So,
he's busy.
This thing is a bloodbath. This is going to be...
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised to see it was a bloodbath, but I also there's an element of mystery there too that I was very drawn into.
Yeah, no, there was.
In the first issue, I meant, the way he's conflicted at times, the way he's trying to figure out where he came, who he really is, where he came from, even though he has memories of the American Revolutionary War as far back as that, but he doesn't remember quite everything, like when he was born and what people he came from and things like that. So there's a little mystery there.
Yeah, I actually reading it, what was going through my head was Wolverine meets John Wick. He can't die. He doesn't know much about his past. He's got no memory of it. But he knows he's lived through all these different eras. And the bloodbath part of John Wick, just the rampant violence.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some great art in here. Ron Garney, really, his layouts are great, and the action flows. Most of the book is just action. There's hardly any dialogue. And there's a panel where he punches a guy's jaw right off, breaks his jaw.
Comes flying off.
Comes flying off, and then he rips the guy's arm off and beats him to death with it.
Nice.
It's just great. It might have been extra refreshing given the current climate of entertainment right now. So it was just I was laughing at it. It was like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a Tarantino level of violence.
Yes. Yeah. Very, it's that cartoony violence kind of.
Sure.
Way really bloody over the top. It's gonna be interesting. I really hope they make the 12 issue thing. Well, 12 issues into a feature will be. No, you can't do that. You'd have to make a trilogy and do like maybe 4 issues comprising each movie.
Well, I mean, it's Netflix, so I mean, they could make more.
That's what the series is for.
Yep.
Okay.
What's this?
Well, Deadline claims that Falcon and Winter Soldier
claims.
Well, I mean, who am I to dispute Deadline? I mean, they're only
I'll
here
dispute it.
They're only here to protect the studio and everyone who works for it.
Are they serious?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But like these metrics are hard to prove, right? I mean,
yeah, especially with Disney no longer giving out
Disney Plus reports. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to that in a bit because I do have some numbers here.
Wait, you're saying that
Most watched ever premiere?
Most watched. The Marvel series is the streaming services their streaming.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah.
There's no way it's gonna be all streaming.
I still
doubt
that
it,
Luke
though.
Skywalker.
Well,
The premiere though?
okay.
Like episode?
I have not read this article, so we can dive in now. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier ranks as the most watched series premiere ever for the streaming service during its opening weekend, Friday, March 19th through Sunday, March 22nd, and the most watched title overall for the same time period on a global basis, including in Disney Plus Hotstar markets. No viewership numbers were provided whatsoever. Well, if you're not going to provide the receipts, trust us on this. I know we've been taking a bloodbath at PR-wise, but just trust us on this one. Disney Plus did not provide any degree of viewers for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, specifically in regards to WandaVision's weekend premiere or the Mandalorian's season 1 or 2 weekend premieres. The streaming service only mentioned that Falcon, WandaVision, and season 2 of Mando are the streaming service's top 3 most watched weekend premieres. Well, duh, because they're the only 3 real original series you have.
They're the only things on there.
Right.
I mean,
everything else is like old.
No
I mean,
news here.
they have like documentary things and like behind the scenes at Marvel and stuff like that. But I mean, these, as far as streaming series, those are the only 3 they got, right? That anybody cares about anyway. Samba TV, however, reports that 1.7 million households turned into Falcon and the Winter Soldier last weekend for at least 5 minutes, besting the 1.6 million who tuned into WandaVision's opening weekend. Samba TV collects data from terrestrial TVs. Okay.
Terrestrial TV.
Is that TVs that are
Ouch.
So I guess that would be like a smart TV. They can actually.
Oh, okay.
This goes back to, and I gotta figure out, maybe Culture and I can just record something. But remember, we had those stories a week or 2 ago about how the Nielsen ratings are now going to be able to track streaming and custom advertising.
Yeah.
And they signed a deal with Roku and all that kind of stuff. Culture Casino's really plugged into that. He said he's read 10 articles on it already, and I really prefer he explain that.
Yeah.
But that might be the way they're getting some of these metrics, or they're going to be able to verify some of these metrics going forward. I mean, because right now, how do you prove that? Like, how do you collect data from terrestrial TVs? I mean, it's got to be a smart TV where they know that like they're streaming. But how do you know what they're streaming? I mean, how do you know, right?
Well, through people's accounts. I mean, they know what you're watching in your account, and they,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think if there's any like validity to it, it would probably be because people kind of got used to watching WandaVision and it ended, so they're anticipating another thing.
Right.
So everyone that watched WandaVision probably watched this as well for the most part.
According to this, it was an uptick too. They got more, maybe because it seems more action oriented, where WandaVision was kind of weird.
Right.
And these are 2 characters that people really loved from the movie.
Even though the first episode.
I mean, I love the Falcon.
Me too. They're great.
Anthony Mackie's one of my favorite actors. The first time I saw him was We Are Marshall, and I was like, wow,
oh right,
it's great. Kind of followed his career from there. But
what did you think about the first episode? Oh, sorry, Stacey.
No, go ahead.
Finish. I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say Disney's latest Marvel TV show had 759,000 US HHs tune in on Friday, beating WandaVision's premiere day tune 655,000 households. Oh, households, US households, HHs. Why did they put HHs in the sentence before they say households?
Yeah, that makes no
You're
sense.
supposed to, yeah.
Yeah.
But not quite the 1 million US HHs that watched the Mando season 2 premiere on the first day. Marvel
makes
Studios
sense.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier stars and then and then so okay. Go ahead.
I guess if you're saying that this is the only thing that's kind of new right now, or it's not really competing with anything else in Disney Plus, I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, was it any good, Stacey?
I feel like I had definitely had some issues with it. I feel like maybe it was a setup episode, and I'm gonna hopefully this week's is a little better. I mean, there was action. There was some strange direction, like some director moves that I don't understand and were very off-putting. Like so much so that like my son who watched it with me doesn't ever really notice that kind of stuff. Noticed it and it irritated both of us. It's so much so that I had to look up who the director was and what else she's directed. And I don't I've seen other things, but she's only directed like an episode or two of most other things that she's directed. And they're mostly hour-long dramas.
As we saw with the other show, with the WandaVision show, I don't know.
And unfortunately, she directs every episode of the season. So it was very odd. There's some very odd choices. They're just basically setting up where they are at this point in time after they've blipped back. Life is kind of getting back to like normal, what it's like for them, and what the world is like without Captain America. And so they kind of just set that up. So I'm hoping at this point, the Winter Soldier's plot line is more interesting than Falcon's. I mean, it's kind of like his family. His sister's struggling because she's running the family business. She's a widow and he's been gone. And so they kind of I don't know. It was a little bit. Ask Jude. Jude has interesting.
I mean, I've always been fascinated with the Winter Soldier, even from the comic books. Anyways, I like the fact that he, not only is he a person out of time, kind of like Captain America, but in a different way. But he struggles constantly with the guilt
definitely
of being used to, kill all these people. So.
And that's something that's definitely what he's dealing with. He's trying to make amends for things he did that were beyond his control, as being Hydra being in control of him. And his story is definitely compelling.
That's
so
awesome.
We'll see. I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping it gets a little bit better. I mean, I hope the direction isn't so weird.
I fell asleep during it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I fell asleep during it, so I probably have a good, half hour left.
Probably goes back to what Stacey was saying. If it's a setup episode, it might be a little slower. I don't know.
Well, I got to the part where the Winter Soldier is in the bar and he's kind of talking to the Asian girl.
Oh, the date they get.
Yeah, right. I got a little further than that, but that's so I saw all the great kind of action sequences in the beginning, which was kind of cool.
Still kind of confusing, though. It wasn't really. I don't know. I thought it was a little confusing.
They were showing Falcon's new tech. He's got a bunch of tech now. He's got this drone that comes off the back of his wings now, kind of like, I don't know what it is. It's got like a machine gun on it. And it does certain things. And then he had a lot of like blocking bullets with his shield, and it just looks like they redesigned he's got a whole new redesign.
I think he had that drone before.
He used it in.
Yeah, he had an Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Did he use?
Yeah, at the beginning of his Red Wing.
Yeah, right.
It was more obvious this time, I think, just because.
No, I mean, I'm sure
there's so much going on, and
I'm sure he could be outfitted with more things, but I know he had it in Civil War. But
right.
And the guy that he was trying to get, or the villain, it seemed like the villain. He looked like he was from Hydra, but I don't know.
Maybe they're part of some different terrorist group, like LAF, whatever that is. So.
And the Winter Soldier completely confuses me now because now he's like mentally normal. So he's at a bar and he's talking to people and he's just kind of like, hey, you know.
That's fun. That was the best part of the whole. I think the whole episode actually.
Oh boy,
he doesn't look like that anymore. Now he's like one of these kind of like, you know.
But he flashes back to
right
looking like that.
Wish I could say I was mentally normal.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
we
he
all?
doesn't
pretend well sometimes. Maybe that's what it is.
right, but he doesn't have that like you know that Winter Soldier thing going on where he's just kind of crazy.
Well,
yeah. He's just a normal guy now. It's like you know. It's kind of like Cobra Kai sitting at a bar drinking a beer.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I think they'll use that trope again where they kind of
take control for
Jedi 6. We definitely want to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely.
We do.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Definitely. Me too.
Yeah.
Funny you mentioned the comics, Edson, and you walked
This
right
is my
into the segue. Please don't talk to Ed Brubaker about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
By Rich Johnston of Bleeding Stool. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show came out from Marvel on Disney Plus today, spinning out of Captain America: The Winter Soldier movie, based principally on the Captain America comic books by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting, which are epic. They are so good.
Really?
So good.
Say enough.
Oh yeah, that's the one. I would highly recommend that.
Oh my god. Especially that first 12, 15 issues, Edson?
Yeah, I think
When
it was
Winter
12.
Soldier
12
first appears?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh
Yep.
my god.
First 12, yeah.
So good.
And then he doubled down and he made its own solo Winter Soldier one as well for like 14, which was great. It's another great one. Yep.
Ed Brubaker is one of the best comic book writers you'll find. Brubaker wrote on his newsletter today about how he related to the films and the TV show, and no, he ain't happy.
Oh.
Ed Brubaker describes the show as something I sadly have very mixed feelings about. I'm really happy for Sebastian Stan, who I think is both a great guy and a perfect Bucky/Winter Soldier. And I'm glad to see him getting more screen time finally. Also, Anthony Mackie is amazing as Falcon. And everyone at Marvel Studios that I've ever met, all the way up to Kevin Feige, have been nothing but kind to me. But at the same time, for the most part, all Steve Epting and I have gotten for creating the Winter Soldier and his storyline is a thanks here or there. And over the years, that's become harder and harder to live with. I've even seen higher ups on the published side try to take credit for my work a few times, which was pretty galling. Yeah. To be clear, I'm not talking about Tom Brevoort, who was a great editor and really helpful. Why would he say that?
Wow.
Why would anyone immediately assume it was Tom Brevoort? So yeah, mixed feeling, and maybe it'll always be like that, but I sure hope not. Work for hire work is what it is, and I'm honestly thrilled to have co-created something that's become such a big part of pop culture, or even pop subculture, with all the Bucky, Steve /fiction and all that run on Cap was one of the happiest times of my career, certainly while doing superhero comics. Also, I have a great life as a writer, and much of it is because of Cap and Winter Soldier bringing so many readers to my other work. But I also can't deny feeling a bit sick to my stomach sometimes when my inbox fills up with people wanting comments on the show. So I'm sure I'll watch it, and you should too if you're a Marvel movie universe fan, but I'll probably be waiting a while to check it out myself. So please don't email me any spoilers. I guess, but go give Dan lots of love wherever he is online.
Yeah, that would really stick in.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
so this is what he was referring to. Here's the end credits where they say Sam Wilson, the Falcon, created by Stan Lee and Gene Colan. Winter Soldier, created by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting. Bucky Barnes and Captain America, created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. With special thanks to Daniel Acuna. Hey, our friend John Byrne. Mark Walt, our
Bob
friend
Layton.
Yep. David Michelini, Tom Morgan, Paul Neary, and Nick.
Oh, Nick Spencer.
If only special thanks paid the bills.
If only special thanks paid.
So my question is when did the Bucky timeline happen with the Winter Soldier in the comic? Like, was that a way off? Because I never read that. Was that like years ago, or was it recent? Like around?
Oh, now we definitely need you on the show, Jedi 6. We have to hear all about this.
Hey.
Was that Captain America like in the 90s?
That was 2000.
2000. Okay.
No, maybe 2008.
Wow, so it was more recent then.
Yeah, it was
because I didn't remember that. I don't remember it being in comics. And
I've got them all.
It was great. I mean, I highly recommend it. If you want to read it.
Yeah.
And Bucky is the Winter Soldier in that series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend also Ed Brubaker has chosen no longer write for Marvel Comics, but he's over at Image, and every series he's done for Image is
I'll have to pick it up.
freaking awesome. Like from Fatale to what was it? The Fade Out.
The Fade Out was really good.
What was the one I just read from you last year, Edson?
This looks like a Clint. This looks like
Velvet.
Velvet's a great.
Oh, God.
This looks like a Clint Eastwood poster, doesn't it?
He does a lot of these type of westerns. Yeah,
Like,
He does,
you know,
genres. Like he does. Like he did the Fade Out was like a film noir detective story.
Yeah.
Fatale was about was kind of a succubus kind of.
Yeah, like a
oh, cool.
vampire
Very cool.
type.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
neat.
then
Very cool.
Velvet was great.
Velvet was
She
like she's like a spy, a Cold War spy.
Yeah,
really good. I mean that is like the great example of how to do both the spy and have a female lead, like a really good
it's
female
so
lead.
good. Velvet might be the best one out of all of them so far. They're all very good though. I highly recommend anything Ed Brubaker puts his mitts on, and he keeps working with Steve Epting, so the art is always consistent.
Oh, wow.
Or the other guy, Sean
Phillips.
Sean Phillips.
Yeah, Steve Epting is really good.
Yep,
they're both good.
I have a signed Captain America commission from him. Right over there. On the wall.
I just put something up. Do you guys want to see it? Can you guys tell me who that artist is?
It's hard to see, but I'm guessing Neil Adams.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I finally hung it up.
Neil's great too.
He is great. He's really great, and he's super friendly. If you approach him at a con, he's really cool.
Yeah, it's weird that he approaches us at a con now. He's waving, "Hey guys, come on over."
Yeah, I always stop by, even though I bought this print and framed it, and this is the first time I met him. I just go over to and look at his prints anyway and talk to him.
Yeah. I remember asking him. I bought that print he did where he has Batman and the Joker merged.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah. And I asked him where he got the inspiration for that, and he told me this like 20-minute story about. And it was basically, he said, "Oh, that's Elephants in the Clouds," is how he started. And I'm like, "Elephants in the Clouds? What the hell is that all about?" And then he just went on and told me the whole story. I love Neil.
Yeah, he's
a little
a good
out
guy.
there on Twitter. I cringe a lot when I read his tweets.
Well, he goes live on Instagram all the time now and selling most of his artwork.
Yeah,
So-
well, he can't go to cons.
Right.
And to be honest, I mean, come on, Jude. How many cons do we've done? Panels,
he's like at every con.
Right. I mean, how much low-hanging fruit? He's got everybody. Like, he's got everybody's money. How does he sell anything anymore? He brings that huge booth. It's just ginormous. And it's like, come on, he's everywhere.
And
Every
he stays at the very end. He closes shop Sunday at 5:00 at the com. You can see him breaking stuff down. You're like, holy crap! Like,
he's like the last one out the door all the time. Yeah. I love Neil.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a really good guy. We've hit the point in the show where it's time to check in on Batwhammon. Batwhammon.
We really have to.
Do you have the ratings again, or the watching, or the what do they call it?
We've got the ratings. First,
I believe we call this segment "Who Really Cares About Batwoman?"
Well, it was perfect that you came in right at this time.
This is like
Hoo-yah!
That car crash you can't stop looking at. So this came out yesterday. They're recasting Kate Kane.
Oh my god!
Despite saying that they wouldn't, and it's not. And Ruby Rose was talking about trying to come back. Remember?
Yep.
But
They
they
should
were,
It's not her though.
they like split the difference. They were like,
Oh, God.
yeah, Ruby, you're right. I mean, I think the fans want Kate Kane because the show's tanking, but we don't want you back. So here's what we're gonna do. This is awesome. The CW decided to go ahead and recast Kate Kane in Batwoman, despite previously saying they would not recast the character after Ruby Rose's departure.
Are you saying TV executives lied to us? The heck you say?
No, I'm not saying that. JB Augustine is saying it on Bounding into Comics. TV Line reports that Wallace Day, known for the Royals in Krypton, will be taking over as Kane when she returns from the dead. She's going to be altered in some way, according to Batwhammon showrunner Carolyn Dries. Wallace Day is going to be playing our altered version of Kate Kane, and she's an amazing actress, Dries told TV Line. I'm excited for you guys to see the journey that she endures. Now, considering that Ruby Rose is barely better than a plank of wood, this woman must be like amazing. So she's actually been on other things. Day previously expressed interest in taking over Rose soon after the latter departed the show. Kate was thought dead at the beginning of the season after her plane exploded in midair down by the river where the van is parked with the new Batwoman in it. Past Sunday's episode saw her declared deceased after her DNA matched bones found in Bloodhaven. They quickly wriggled their way out of that development with another twist. Somebody with their face wrapped in bandages was shown sitting in the sewers beneath Gotham. That was supposed to be Kate recovering from injuries, because everyone hides in the sewer when they're recovering from injuries, but we'll have to wait to know for sure. Ryan Wilder has been serving as Batwoman in season 2 ever since the Batsuit fell out of the sky and landed close to her van down by the river.
It's gonna be like a Green Lantern ring. It's just every season it's gonna be like a Doctor Who thing. You're gonna be a new Doctor.
Yeah. Batwoman's gonna regenerate.
What Kate's return means for her future.
Now she's a blonde.
Ruby Rose left the show abruptly at the end of last season. Her reasons were vague until she cited nagging injuries and stress as prime contributors. Rose recently stated she'd be open to reprising Kate if the story and circumstances were right, while Dries said last year she was talked out of recasting Kate by producer Greg Berlanti in order to preserve Rose's contribution to the series. Dries explained, to be honest with you, I did consider the soap opera version for a hot minute, selfishly because we already had a couple of episodes written and transition-wise it would be seamless. Upon further reflection, and Greg helped me make this call, he is way smarter than me about this sort of stuff. He said, we should just reboot the character in terms of reboot Batwoman as a different character and also respect everything that Ruby put into the Kate Kane character. Well, so much for that, because they just changed. They're bringing Kate Kane back with a different actress. So.
Who cares?
Yeah. So anyway,
I think at this point it's dying a slow death. It's just a car accident.
No. But I do watch Az's reviews, which are more than entertaining. Az's reviews are awesome. He loses his mind. I don't know why he through it. I watched the first show and I did a review of the first one. That was it.
This show kind of reminds me of that. This show kind of reminds me of that location, that like one building in your town that every year it changes into something different. It was a Mexican place.
Laundromat, yeah.
And you can't understand. You're like, geez, this place, like it's,
Yeah. So the Batwoman ratings have not been good, as we know. This week they went down again. They're 536,000 viewers. They held the demo at 0.11. So clearly, the CW is looking at this and going, we got to try to salvage this thing. Here's how we salvage it. Bum, bum, bum. Bring back Kate. It's guess what? It's not going to work. It's freaking over. The pilot from season 1 or season 2? Season 2 was awful. Just hideous. So Batwoman, all the news surrounding Batwoman is more entertaining than the show itself, and it's fun to track every week. As Stacy disagrees completely with me.
It wasn't me, it was Jude.
What?
That I keep checking the ratings on Batwoman.
No, Jude didn't see the need for talking about it. I don't mind it. I think it's interesting.
It's fun. I think
it's fun to keep track of this week to week.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe one week it'll spike and we'll all be amazed. And
I think,
and then we start watching.
Sure.
I think your spike was right here last week. It went up 21% to 552.
We can always speculate why that happens. Like what?
Yeah.
Be like stock traders on the ratings.
Exactly.
Was there a guest star
this week?
Yeah.
Are there guest stars on the show?
Maybe. I don't watch it, so I can.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Soups and Lois is holding. Went down 3%, but it's still over 1.2 million. That's 3 weeks in a row. So it looks like they're going to settle in somewhere around 1 million probably.
I feel like I'm losing interest already.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Heel versus Babysitter.
You don't like the show.
Az watches it and does a review every week. And every week his review gets longer and longer. It's like longer than the show.
Than the actual
That's
show.
hilarious.
They should just put that on network TV and I
Instead, like, watch
no,
it,
really.
yeah.
I'm serious.
I think that DC, the CW needs
Oh, someone
to.
likes the show? Okay.
There's got to be people that like it, but I think that they need to focus. I mean, I like what Marvel did with the movies, obviously with Guardians. Maybe they should just pick different characters and just try something different. I know they did that with Doom Patrol, but it's not a CW show. But
right,
God, Superman, and it's just the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah, just for the hell of it, I just grabbed the Flash ratings, and the Flash.
Yeah, it's the same
Flash
thing.
around a million, yeah. I mean,
look at this right off the pilot, which I watched. I did watch the premiere of.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
I was
so bad.
I read that it was, but I didn't even bother watching.
It was.
It's CSI with Flash. That's pretty much all
No,
it is,
it's
right?
even, no. This show has so lost its way. Like I couldn't.
If it was CSI with Flash, it would actually be interesting. But
this was so bad. They lost 50% of their viewers right out of the gate, in the demo, and 38% overall. And it's been, kind of holding, but still in the negative.
It's got to be what, 7 seasons now?
But they're losing the demo. Look at this, the 18 to 49.
7 seasons. I mean, anything that lasts 8 seasons is usually gone after that.
Jedi 6 wants to know if we're going to discuss Superman and Lois spoilers.
No. My review will, but not tonight. I just was looking.
What are we in? We're 4 episodes in now?
5th one's tonight.
Okay.
Tonight, yeah, but we've only had a chance.
Are they fast watches? Can you get through them quick?
Oh, they're great. I love the show. There's my spoiler for my review. I love the show. I'm going to review episodes 1 to 3 and then 3 to 6, and then they go on hiatus. And then I'll keep it like every 3. So
how many more episodes until they go on hiatus? Like 2 or 3 more?
Next week will be the last one. Then they bring Supergirl back for a couple, 6 weeks.
Oh, that's what they said. That's right. Yeah, until like May something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's a big success, but it's like we both loved the first season of Arrow as well and the first season of Flash.
I did.
Have you watched it, Edson?
Yeah.
Superman and Lois?
Yep.
You've been watching it all along?
Yes.
What do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I'm like I said at the beginning, I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but I like what they're doing specifically in this case. Yeah, they're doing it right, I think.
That's what I think. You have to just do something different. You can't keep doing the same story of Superman growing up in a farm, in a small town, and
no, they've got the tone and everything right. My review is gonna be pretty thorough. I went through and I grabbed like 90 screen grabs and a couple of scenes.
I mean, would you think it would be insulting if they come out with these shows that just skipped Origins? Just go straight to
they did
character.
skip the Origins. This is totally different.
Oh yeah, for Superman and Lois, for sure.
Yeah. Superman and Lois, they it's a lot like the run of the Superman Rebirth comics. When DC did the Rebirth comics, it was Peter J. Tomasi, Edson. We couldn't figure it out, remember?
Yep.
Peter J. Tomasi was the writer, Patrick Gleason was the artist. They did a run where Clark and Lois are married and they move to Smallville and they raise their son Jonathan in Smallville. And that's basically the crux of what's going on in that. So
it's Jedi.
2 people brought this story to me today.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that today. Too,
Warner Brothers will return to theatrical release, and this is just to warn everybody. Here's where we get into the Warner Brothers.
Oh,
hole.
We're going down
the Warner Brothers hole.
Ending its HBO experiment.
This is the most positive story of the whole thing.
Warner Brothers will return to theatrical
releases in 2022, ending its HBO Max experiment.
Meaning the release in the theaters and then HBO Max on the same day.
Correct.
Yes,
correct. So what they're going to do is put a 45-day window. I saw Grace Randolph tweeting about this earlier today, and then I got distracted and forgot to go chase the story. So thank you guys for chasing the story for me, because I would have forgotten completely. So Warner Brothers will return to releasing its theatrical films exclusively in theaters next year, Deadline reports. But the decision ends the studio's 2021 experiment of releasing major films like Wonder Woman 84, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, Suicide Squad, Dune, Matrix 4 simultaneously on its HBO Max streaming service and in theaters for the first 30 days they're released. The news comes as part of an announcement from Warner Brothers of a new deal with Regal Cinemas owner Cineworld, the second largest theater chain in the world. After over 6 months of shutdowns, Regal's theaters will reopen in April, and they'll be showing Warner Brothers films like Kong vs. Godzilla, Mortal Kombat alongside their HBO Max debuts. So,
Edward Cullen.
Edward Cullen.
Jedi 6 is a fan.
Yeah.
I read the Twilight books, man. I get that.
Paramount recently
Does he glitter?
45-day windows for its blockbuster Mission Impossible 7 and an even shorter 30-day window for smaller titles. Universal has also signed similar deals with both AMC and Cinemark. Films with openings less than $50 million domestically will hit paid video services 17 days after they debut, while movies with larger opening weekends can start paid rentals 31 days after debuting. So, rewriting the rules. You know, I don't care. I'm a theater guy. I mean, you guys know that. So,
Well, it's good news to hear Regal's going to be, is still doing okay, doing well enough to reopen. They've kind of been shut down for a year. So
I think they were smart to do that versus like AMC that tried to struggle through.
Yeah,
almost went bankrupt twice.
it was smart. I think it was smart for Regal to do that. And, I think they were struggling. Me too. I'm with you, Jedi 6.
Yeah,
but you know what? Like people, it's like a movie about teenagers, but who wrote it? A middle-aged woman. So like,
same with Harry Potter.
I'm into it. I was like all about Twilight for a minute.
I got a funny story about us going to the movies to see the Snyder Cut. I was talking to two people that I work with who watched Justice League, and they both were having a hard time getting through it, including my brother. And he goes, well, how was it in the theater? And I said, it was awesome. Like, it looked awesome. I love that we had a little intermission break so we could talk about the film in between, go back to it, and you were engaged. You were in nice, comfy seats. And everybody was just like, oh, it should have been the way that I could have saw it. Like, I wish I could see it that way. So people want to see these movies in the theater. I mean, 4-hour movie, they were depressed that they didn't get to see it in the movie for 4 hours, in the theaters for 4 hours. So, I mean, everybody wants to go back. I think it's time. At least me personally.
I've
Yeah.
been saying it all along.
I've been going. They reopened. So.
Me too. I've been going to the movies. Exactly.
So we had a lot of jealous people.
Yeah.
Especially when I posted it on Instagram, a lot of people were like, how come I didn't get an invite? I'm like, well, VIP, baby.
You gotta be crafty.
You gotta watch the show. I mean, come on,
Gotta
man.
be crafty.
That's right.
Always.
No, I would love to know how many people worldwide got to see it in the theater, and I'm guessing it's you could probably count them on your hands and toes. That would be us.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. But
Very.
Someone must have came up with that idea. It's not just us.
Well, a lot of people did, but here's the thing, Jude. The big chain theaters can't do streaming.
Right.
You have to watch what's in their inventory.
That's true. That's true. We lucked out that way.
So the fact that the theater Stacy knows about and the one that's close to her can do that is what made that possible.
Yeah.
Independent.
I know. I'm sorry.
And you should be. It was great.
If we could have invited everybody, we could have. But obviously, because of COVID, we were restricted to the amount of people.
Well, actually, we could have got more people in there. They gave us the big cinema with like.
I know, but it's like
300
the
seats.
cost when you rent it, though. It's like
And I did have I did have a row auto myself, which was also no offense to you guys.
It's fine. So I'm going to modify this headline.
Wow.
Why? Because this is not really what happened, but this was reactionary.
Oh, okay.
Morning. It was John F. Trent.
That's not so.
I don't want to get too deep into this because it's really none of my business, right? This is between Geeks and Gamers and Zack Snyder.
I know.
And Warner Brothers. It has nothing to do with me.
Right.
I'm not going to stick my nose in somewhere where it doesn't belong. But I just want to say that, and Edson, you were on the stream.
Yep.
It was horribly disappointing for him to come on, and the first thing he says was what he said. Now, pressured or not, and I if you want to know what happened behind the scenes, I really think.
I'm still confused on it.
Let me. If you go watch the video Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers posted yesterday, he tells you exactly what went on for the whole month leading up to it, what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I really think that was a great great video that tells you fills in all the blanks and everything. Yep.
Yeah, because I was trying to follow along, and then I was kind of listening to when he was on, and it just got. I was like, I don't get it. Like there was just too much. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Jeremy really
Yeah.
explains it and takes a lot of the blame for what happened.
Yeah, he did.
And I just go watch that.
So it's Geeks and Gamers on their site.
Geeks and Gamers, yeah. So
And I felt he was very objective in that video. Like he didn't bury anybody other than himself, or just he was very objective.
There
there are people talking
most,
about it here.
Whoops. It's is it? Yeah. It's the most recent one, Jedi 6. I think yesterday.
Yeah.
And really, he talks about and he shows a clip where Zack Snyder was on another person's YouTube channel and kind of spilled the beans about it early, and that created a lot of the problem.
Yep.
So anyway, that aside, let's not get too deep. But the problem was Zack was mandated by Warner to make this disclaimer, and then address the violence that happened in Atlanta. And what happened is that because Zack is really clumsy and he was clearly uncomfortable doing it, he presented it as one big complete thought.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the way it was interpreted by people, and perception is king, let's face it, people just hear things and they perceive things. It sounded like he was trying to tie the Geeks and Gamers channel to hate and hate crimes on a suicide prevention charity stream. It was a bad look all the way around, and it crushed the momentum of the stream. It went like 20 or 30 minutes without any donations. They lost like 2,500 viewers. It was bad.
So it was more a misunderstanding than it was anything.
Well,
in a way,
but bad optics, and it's not good. So, and it got everybody. It was just bad. As part of Jeremy's new video yesterday, and I went and pulled these. Let me see if I can find them.
Oh, so okay, that's cool.
So I didn't clip the part where Zack addresses his affiliation with Geeks and Gamers, but I clipped the part where he had to talk about what happened in Atlanta. And then because Jeremy showed a clip where after Zack left the charity stream, he went to the red carpet premiere stream with Kevin Smith, and Kevin Smith basically said the exact same thing, almost word for word. So I'll play them back to back, and you guys tell me what you think.
And I also want to just say, in light of recent events, I think we really, if Justice League teaches us anything, it's about coming together, and there's no room for hate. And I just think that it's important. It's an important message. And of course, as the father of the Asian children, it really hits close to home for me. And I just really want to put that out there that we all, there's no room for hate. And that's just what it's about.
Absolutely.
All right. So that was the second part of his.
Okay.
After.
Just before we get started with the show, just wanted to say a few words about recent events, current events, especially the heartbreaking tragedy that took place last night in Atlanta. When you're making a movie like Zack Snyder's Justice League, you involve a bunch of talented people, way more talented than myself, of all genders, races, creeds, and colors, all of them coming together, united to make something awesome that we all get to enjoy with one another. We've seen a lot of hate in the world, particularly recently. But if there's one thing that, the Justice League teaches us, it's that there's hope if we're united. Let's stop the hate. Let's stop the violence against people of color. There's an address on the bottom of your screen if you want to help join in the fight. We thank you for your help. We thank you for joining us here tonight. Now, please enjoy the digital red carpet premiere of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Very, very similar.
Okay.
Indeed.
Very similar language. So clearly they were handed, talking points from the studio.
Yeah, you say this now.
Right.
Yeah.
And as Jedi 6 points out, yes, the logo should have been removed. That was an oversight. Apparently they just forgot about that one page or something. And then, Zack should work on full stop sentence.
Yeah.
I think Jeremy put it as, with all the pressure put on him, and he's just not the most eloquent public speaker. He's just not. It's not something he's comfortable with. He clearly, is not. So
It's a little awkward, yeah.
So huge misunderstanding with horrible optics. But I went through like those weird stages of like at first I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, he probably just didn't present it right. And it was weird that he tied the two thoughts together. And then I got mad. And then I tried to, and then I kept going through all these weird but the one thing I kept saying to myself was Zack Snyder's been defending fans for years. Whenever the media calls him toxic, he jumps in and goes, whoa. These people raise money for charities and they do all kinds of great things. Just stop with that BS. Like he says that. And,
yeah.
And he watches all these YouTube channels. So I was like, I don't think he meant to do that the way it came out.
It sounded like he was trying to work it into the interview as if he wanted to talk about it and he just found a way to segue it in and maybe, I don't know.
For me, I feel like it's just something he felt like he needed to say and he wanted to just hurry up and get it out and move on from it.
But
That's
maybe
to me, from the first time I saw it, that's how it seemed to me.
Right.
Yeah.
If it were me, here's how if I would have addressed it this way, I would have gone on and immediately have just said, "Hey, look, they had earned almost $60,000 before he got there. They were already almost $10,000 past the goal. The goal was 50. I would have logged in and said, "Hey, oh my God, you guys have done an amazing thing here.
Right.
Kudos to the Geeks and Gamers team and putting this all together and raising all this money. We're already past the goal." That said, that's all he had to do. But he came in and immediately went, "I'm not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers," and it was like, oh. So, yes.
Yeah, I agree with Jed. I don't know why, the media and corporation headquarters have to jump right in and think race. It's like that has not been proven with the investigation that it was a racist act. I mean, you don't know that for sure until you look a little bit deeper into the motivation of the
They immediately
a lot of speculation.
Stop jumping. Yeah.
They did it again today in Boulder, Colorado. Did the same thing again today.
Yeah. Right away they went.
Well, I think also anytime there's any of these like horrific mass shootings, like I know they didn't release any of the names of the people who got murdered yesterday, and I remember it was very
families.
Right, and it was very frustrating because all of a sudden, when they don't produce that information, people start coming up with all kinds of crazy stuff.
Of course, they're going to anyway.
Like, oh, he was a. I don't know. Then they start coming up with the stuff for the guy. He was a KKK member. I don't know. They just come up with bonsai stuff. So it's like people will see this and then just come up with stuff.
Don't get me started on the media.
Don't get me started.
There's no patience. There's no patience to find out actually what happened.
Yeah.
People have to fill the gaps immediately.
Well, because everybody wants to be the first one to have the right answer. Right. And it doesn't matter what.
So Snyder Cut comes out. But by the way, Geeks and Gamers has raised over $100,000 for suicide prevention. And,
Yep. Good for them.
And like the night Gina Carano got fired, they were doing a charity drive for her charity about human trafficking, which was, way to go, Lucasfilm. I mean, that's the low of the low, right? And they raised $45,000 for her on that night, and while she was being fired on social media because nobody had the nerve to even tell her to her face.
So weird.
Suddenly got
yeah.
All right, calm down, everyone. Let's
talk about
it's very difficult to calm down.
He's wearing boob armor. Okay.
Oh, doesn't he just know what's underneath the boob armor?
No, here's my thing.
He's so pretty.
Back in December, Luke Skywalker returns on Mando, and everyone's just going nuts, right? There's all this we're happy as fans. The fandom comes together. Everyone's celebrating this great thing. And what did it take 48 hours or something for Lucasfilm to blow up? And here we are again. We go to see the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut's kicking ass. It's the fans are loving it on Rotten Tomatoes, and even the shills on Rotten Tomatoes are giving it good reviews. But we can't have good things. We can't.
Why not?
Media boss Ann Sarnoff implies the Snyderverse ends with Justice League. DC films. Oh, this is the wrong one. I'm sorry. I have to start.
So they basically
oh boy, hang on.
They basically have 4 hours, 4 hours of film to go through to criticize it.
I lost one of these things. Hang on, there was a lead.
Yeah, there's another one in there.
what the heck happened to it?
Was there anything? There wasn't anything weird woke about Justice League. I mean,
no. Here it is.
No, there really wasn't.
No.
So okay. So this is what happens yesterday, reported by John Trent at Bounding into Comics. So Ann Sarnoff does a review, an interview with Variety, and condemns toxic Snyder Cut fans. Forgets Warner Media promotes defunding the police and ending families. So John's been getting frustrated lately. I can tell, because he's actually, it's important to point out the hypocrisies, right? So, in an interview with Variety discussing Zack Snyder's Justice League and the future of DC films, Variety's Brent Lang asked, "There's also been a toxic side to the fandom, which these fucking journos who don't do their homework and just they love to throw that around, this toxic fan thing, right? What's so toxic about a group of people asking to see a movie that's sitting on a shelf or a hard drive?"
Exactly.
Like, what the hell is that?
It's called being bored because you have nothing to watch. So you got to go tech other people's stuff to watch.
So anyway, there's a toxic side to the fandom with reports that critics and some of your executives have received threats for not endorsing the Snyder Cut or for being perceived as standing in the way of its release. What's your reaction to that behavior? So here we go again with the idea that they're getting threats but they don't prove it. There's no receipts here.
Right.
They're not showing any of it. They're just saying it. So she says, yeah, we're not tolerating any of that. That behavior is reprehensible no matter what franchise you're talking about or what business you're talking about. It's completely unacceptable. She continued, I'm very disappointed in the fans that have chosen to go to that negative place in regard to DC with regard to some of our executives. It's just disappointing because we want this to be a safe place to be. Full stop. There's so many things wrong with that.
Wow.
There's so many things wrong with that right off the bat. And again, the first thing I say is, well, if you're getting these horrible, and I'm not saying that every single person in this release the Snyder Cut fan thing is on the up and up. There's always,
I'm sure there are.
Yeah, there's always going to be your bad apples.
Right. And of course, when you're dealing with social media and whatnot.
Yep.
But how about show us the receipts? This is just like the Kelly Marie Tran thing, right? All we heard was she got all these horrible things said to her, but nobody ever proved any of it.
That's right.
The media CEO went on, we want DC to be a fandom that feels safe and inclusive. We want people to speak up for the things they love, but we don't want it to be a culture of canceling things that any small faction isn't happy with.
I agree with that. Isn't that what we all want?
We are not about that. We're about positivity and celebration. Sarnoff is right, saying people should not be sending threats to executives for not endorsing the Snyder Cut or being perceived as standing in the way of its release. That's not only unacceptable, just plain wrong. No ifs, ands, or buts to that. However, Sarnoff's comments are about wanting DC fandom to be safe and inclusive might be one of the most hypocritical and contradictory statements given. She and Warner Media hired Ta-Nehisi Coates to write the next Superman movie.
Yep.
This is just the beginning of it. Coates is an extreme radical who has advocated for reparations in the Atlantic. He wrote in 2014, an America that looks away is ignoring not just the sins of the past, but the sins of the present and the certain sins of the future. More important than any single check cut to any African American, the payment of reparations would represent America's maturation out of the childhood myth of its innocence into wisdom worthy of its founders. Coates makes it clear that reparations means charging all Americans with a crime. He writes, the crime with which reparation activists charge the country implicates more than just a few towns or corporations. The crime indicts the American people themselves at every level and in every configuration. A crime that implicates the entire American people deserves its hearing in the legislative body that represents them. Not only is Coates a radical activist, but in an article published in January of this year, he described Trump as a white supremacist. And in his book, Between the World and Me, Coates wrote, white America is a syndicate arrayed to protect its exclusive power to dominate and control our bodies. He would also write about the firefighters and police officers attempting to save people in the aftermath of the terrorist attack on September 11th. He penned, they were not human to me, black, white, or whatever. They were menaces of nature. They were the fire, the comet, the storm. which could, with no justification, shatter my body. Okay. I have first responders in the family. He can suck it. Okay. He can stand there and look out the window and laugh at the buildings falling down and all those first responders dying. Guy's a scumbag.
So
Coach isn't the only radical that Sarnov's Warner Media has hired. In October, they announced they inked a deal with Black Lives Matter founder Patrisse Cullors, a self-described trained Marxist.
Yep.
BLM organization advocates to dismantle cisgender privilege and uplift Black trans folks, especially Black trans women who continue to be disproportionately impacted by trans antagonistic violence. The group also wants to disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirements by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. I don't need you to parent my kid. Thank you very much.
Where's the proof that the
Cullors also supports defunding the police. In June, she stated the demanding of defunding law enforcement becomes a central demand. And with that demand, it's not just about taking money away from police, it's about reinvesting those dollars back into Black communities. Sure seems like Warner Media is promoting the cancellation of police, families, and cisgender privilege, whatever that is. I thought Sarnov said they were against that. It's also not new hires. Cartoon Network, a division of Warner Media, promoted racism in a recent PSA where they instruct viewers to see color in contrast to the teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In his famous I Have a Dream speech, King stated, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today." However, Cartoon Network rejects this idea and instead demands viewers see color. Remember when she was troubled, fans went to a negative space? Your subsidiaries are actively promoting hateful and negative behavior. If you want to get specific on canceling, Warner Media actually canceled Gone with the Wind. Back in 2020, the company pulled Gone with the Wind from HBO Max following an op-ed written by 12 Years a Slave writer John Ridley in the LA Times. Ridley demanded the film be taken off the platform with the headline of the article reading, "Hey HBO, Gone with the Wind romanticizes the horrors of slavery. Take it off your platform for now." They would take the movie off their platform, although they would return it with a trigger warning, and Ridley would be given a Batman comic to write. So your company's actions prove your words hollow. And more recently, Todd Gardner, a producer on Mortal Kombat and Warner Media Film, recently detailed how they decided not to include Johnny Cage in the film because he's white. Gardner stated, "I feel like if I was getting to make a movie with a diverse cast, it felt weird to have a white actor, literally Johnny Cage, to be the hero of the story."
He's been on the first Mortal Kombat. He's part of Mortal Kombat.
Not anymore.
Safe and inclusive place, especially when you're hiring people to defund police. You aren't against a culture of canceling things when you have actively participated in it. And it's hard to say you are about positivity and celebration when you want to dismantle families and hire someone who thinks the president of the United States is a white supremacist. So, mic drop, John F. Trent. So, she wasn't finished. There's more. Let's see.
Wouldn't that be nice? Jedi 6.
That's what they'll write about Keanu Reeves' Berserker.
Yeah.
Berserker. So she wasn't finished. Here's the thing, and Pete, you've been saying this from the get-go. AT&T is the one who mandated the Snyder Cut.
That's right.
Not Warner Brothers.
Not Warner Brothers. Yeah, HBO Max is AT&T, not Warner Brothers.
Right. And Warner Brothers made no bones about it. I don't think they like Zack Snyder. And I don't think they like him because he's not the Hollywood guy. He's not the Hollywood guy. So she sat down. Boy, oh boy. I hope she knows what she's doing because AT&T owns Warner now. And a lot of this looks like to me is when you have these corporate mergers or corporate buyouts and the company that gets absorbed kicks and screams and tries to obstruct.
That's right.
Together. And that's what this looks like to me. She might be in some trouble going forward because AT&T might be like, let's get rid of the mouthy one. Speaking with Variety's Brent Lang, the same interview, Sarnoff heavily implied that Zack Snyder will not return for any more DC films, despite a fan campaign on Twitter to #restore the Snyderverse. Lang asked Sarnoff, the campaign for release the Snyder Cut has moved into a new phase. It's now Restore the Snyderverse. What's your reaction to this new campaign? Sarnoff responded, I appreciate that they love Zack's work, and we're very thankful for his many contributions to DC. We're just so happy he could bring his cut of Justice League to life. That wasn't in the plan until about a year ago. With that comes the completion of his trilogy. We're very happy we've done this, but we're very excited about the plans we have for all the multi-dimensional DC characters that are being developed right now. While she doesn't directly say there are no more plans for the Snyderverse, it is almost definitely heavily implied. She did flat out say there are no plans for an Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. Right. Sarnoff stated, we won't be developing David Ayer's cut. As for what direction Sarnoff plans to take the DC films, she made it clear. She's steering it to the land of woke and box office failure, as seen with recent reboots of Charlie's Angels, Ghostbusters, and Terminator. Lang asked, looking at the DC slate, there seems to be an emphasis on creating opportunities for diverse creators and characters. You've got a Latino superhero movie with Blue Beetle, Sasha Calle becoming the first Latinx actress to portray Supergirl, and Ta-Nehisi Coates writing a Superman movie. Is there a concerted effort to take that brand in a more inclusive direction? Sarnoff replied, it's super important to me, and it's in line with what we want to do. We want to branch out and let creators interpret parts of the universe in unique and special ways. She then revealed her excitement for reparations advocate Ta-Nehisi Coates to write Superman. Ta-Nehisi is working on Superman is incredibly exciting, and I can't wait to see what he comes up with. And director Andy Muschietti on The Flash, or Patty Jenkins, Matt Reeves just finished filming Batman against the odds of COVID.
Well,
they keep going
if AT&T decides that we're going to get more, we're going to get more Snyder. Nice.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It keeps going. Today. After inking deal with Black Lives Matter co-founder, Warner Media inks new deal with Blue Anon, conspiracy theorist, and Yale professor for more social justice programs.
What's Blue Anon?
Blue Anon is the left equivalent of QAnon.
I never heard of that until today.
I never even heard that until right now.
I heard that a few days ago. And
Knowing is half the battle.
I think they
Jesus.
finally gave it a name. So
It's gonna be like what they did to heavy metal. It was like all of a sudden it branched off to all those different genres. It's just not what it
So
is
basically,
anymore.
just add anon to your thing, and then we'll
it's
just
basically the same
ignore
thing.
it.
They make up bullshit conspiracies about things and push it as a narrative. It's the same thing.
I'll tell you the truth. You can make great movies out of these stories. They do such a good job. If you read some of this stuff, you're like, oh my God, this is a perfect script for a movie.
No, you're right. You're right.
They're
They would make
perfect.
it
I'm thinking
cool.
about stealing some of this shit.
Just months after they inked a deal with Radical
Got
Black
plenty of
Lives
it.
Matter and trained Marxist, co-founder Patrice Cullors, Warner Media, through their Warner Brothers television group, signed a new deal with Yale professor Dr. Philip Atiba Goff for more social justice and woke programming. As reported by the Rap's Tim Basinger, Dr. Philip Atiba Goff, the co-founder and CEO of the Center for Policing Equity and his newly formed Justice RX team, signed a deal with Warner Media to create original content informed by Goff's work, as well as collaborate with the studio's creative roster on projects centered around social justice. Just what people want. More lectures. Warner Brothers television chairman Channing Dungey announced Goff's deal, stating, Dr. Philip Atiba Goff has been a leading voice of moral clarity on critical issues facing our society, and through his creative partnership, we are honored to have the benefit of his insight, guidance, and counsel here at the studio. Goff's leading voice of moral clarity on critical issues facing our society includes attacking the Black Rifle Company as murderous white supremacy after a photo of Kyle Rittenhouse began circulating. More recently, in response to a press conference given by, I skipped down to here. Down here. Earlier on March 17th, Goff would write, the exploitation of vulnerable communities is consistently pathologized in white folks, making white folks into victims and erasing, in this case, the literal body count left in the wake of that exploitation. On March 21st, he wrote, have been learning more about racism in native spaces and wanting to learn much more. White supremacy, life like always seems to find a way. The tweet is in response to an article from BuzzFeed claiming the Seminole Nation in Oklahoma denied a COVID-19 vaccine to Layetta Osborne Sampson because she is a descendant of enslaved black people. The Seminole Nation of Oklahoma denies the claim. They posted on Twitter. Seminole Nation chief released a statement regarding dissemination of COVID-19 vaccines, Wewoka, Oklahoma. Seminole Nation chief Greg P. Chilcote issued the following statement today relating to the United States Indian Health Service's dissemination of COVID-19 vaccines. The United States Indian Health Service is an entity in charge of administering COVID-19 vaccinations to the Seminole Nation, and it's the nation's understanding that such vaccine dissemination is being administered entirely consistent with federal law and policy in providing such vaccinations. And the allegation that Seminole Nation is denying access to the COVID-19 vaccine to a group of people is entirely false. In February, Golf also wrote, one party is debating whether or not they should be the party of white supremacy. The other is debating how much they should compromise with that party. I desperately need a nap. This is what Warner Media thinks of the leading voice of moral clarity on critical issues facing our society. He is most definitely not, despite what Warner Media wants you to believe. Not only is he a leading voice on moral clarity on critical issues facing our society, but he's also an avid proponent in the Blue Anon conspiracy. For those unfamiliar with the conspiracy, Urban Dictionary defines it as thus: a loosely organized group of Democratic voters, politicians, and media personalities who spread left-wing conspiracy theories such as Russia hoax, Jussie Smollett hoax, Ukraine hoax, Covington Kids hoax, and Brett Kavanaugh hoax. Blue Anon adherents fervently believe that right-wing extremists are going to storm Capitol Hill any day now and remove lawmakers from office, hence the need for deployment of thousands of National Guard stationed at the U.S. Capitol.
Blue Anon. Sounds like it.
Yeah, it goes on and on, but they're filling the Warner Brothers is filling the office with some questionable people. And these people, like, what are their qualifications to writing superhero movies and super stuff?
Exactly.
Like,
No, they're a telecommunication
Fiction
company.
stories,
They don't know anything about.
no, they're
media.
AT&T is the telecommunication. This is Warner. This is a subdivision of
Right. It's a subdivision, but still, I mean, they're not. It's the higher ups are they. It's just trying to make money. It's a money machine. That's all they think.
They're not going to make money with this garbage.
Well, that's what I mean. They think in that terms. It's just a way to make money.
Wrong. They're thinking wrong, and this is the classic example of where they get all these analytics because they don't live in the real world. Oh wait, shit! I forgot. There's one more. Promising young woman filmmaker Emerald Fennell to write DC feature Zatanna for Bad Robot.
Oh.
And that's the other thing. That's the other reason they're not going to bring Zack Snyder back is because they're giving it to Jar Jar Abrams. So, yeah, this will be horrible because J.J. Abrams makes shitty movies. And it'll just be another lecture, guaranteed. So, yeah. So, anyway, my point is, I think Ann Sarnoff's allergic to money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you made a good point. Like, where do these people backgrounds have anything to do with writing interesting
They
stories?
don't. They're there to spread propaganda. That's all it's for.
Right.
And they're not going to make any money off of it. Let's face it. This stuff's going to crash and burn. And like they pointed out, John pointed out in the article that they're going the route of Charlie's Angels, Terminator, Dark Fate, and Ghostbusters, and all of those.
And the financial giants that they were.
Right. I think it's like anything. I think when these companies buy into something and they think they can make for instance, I don't know if company was to buy a beer company or something like Budweiser, they have no clue how to make beer, but they figure because it's sold, it's easy to do. You know what I mean?
Well, that's exactly what. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You're basically they think all they have to do is brand it.
Right.
Branding on it, and they don't have to work at it.
Right. The product was successful, so how can it still not be successful? Because not everybody knows how to make beer, or you don't know how to make beer, or you don't know how to make the product.
It's amazing, and it just shows you that these studios don't care. They really don't care about the fan base at all. They're there to push their own agenda, to lecture us, and it's amazing because it just shows. We've been watching Lucasfilm do this for a month and a half, 2 months, right?
But we know it doesn't. The formula doesn't work.
Oh, you hold my beer. Watch that. You think you're watch this. my God, I mean, it's like they doubled down on what Kathy Kennedy's doing.
But what I like to see is I like to see shows like Cobra Kai totally get all this, get so many viewers, and then these other shows bomb. And it's like, how do you not see the difference? How do you say, what did we do wrong? Or are you just that ignorant or just don't care,
Well, at this point, they're not going to say, "What do we do wrong?" They're going to say, "Oh, the fans are just toxic."
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
I'm hoping that eventually it will start moving towards what are we doing wrong. But right now,
because
well, once they're just like funneling money and out the door and they're not making anything, but it's got to come back to that, right?
Right. I don't know about you guys, but when I used to play a sport and I saw someone better than me, I used to ask them, what are you doing that makes you hit the ball harder or further? Or how do you do this? Like, how do you not look at other people and just be like, I want to do that? Like, inspired, be inspired. These people have no inspiration.
They were inspired by Kathleen Kennedy.
Right.
You're like, oh, look what she's doing. We can do this even better.
But that's a message. That's not.
we can implode spectacularly.
Right.
And they need to watch it because the Zack Snyder thing was a huge hit. I'm waiting for numbers to come back, but everybody said HBO Max did off the hook well.
Yeah, they crashed the server, right?
Well, I think so. It was on Twitter. I mean,
right.
But AT&T owns Warner, and they're going to be looking. They're going to be watching, and if they start losing money, especially when they're going to go back into the cinemas and the box office is in there, and they're going to be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And it's going to be, it's you vote with your wallet, right? The pattern. Like I said, we had Luke Skywalker come back, and then Lucasfilm immediately start to dismantle it. And then we have the Zack Snyder thing, and they have all this success, and they immediately start to dismantle it. I don't understand the logic. I don't understand the thinking. I honestly don't.
They live in a bubble. I think that's they're looking at the world from a different perspective, and
these executives are sitting in these ivory towers, and they think that like, well, we got to plug into society. We got to be in the zeitgeist, right? We got to be.
Yeah.
And they think Twitter's the zeitgeist, right?
Right.
Even though it represents 2% of the population.
If that.
Twitter's the zeitgeist. Yeah, if that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Twitter's the zeitgeist. And then they go and they have all these analytics coming in, all these the data, and they base all their decisions on that, on data, social media, and the way they perceive the world sitting in the ivory tower. You're absolutely right, Stacey. They're clueless.
And some of the people they've been hiring over the recent years are convinced they know what's good for you. Like we're telling you what you should watch.
And they probably think that
believe me, this is what's good for you.
Yeah.
And then they don't care what you think. They're just this. We know what it is.
That's the sad part. That's the sad part. And I know we all felt watching Zack Snyder's Justice League that it was a throwback kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was no lectures. It was just awesome to watch. Right.
That's right.
It was just.
I mean, the thing is,
escapism.
There are other outlets, I mean, with all the streaming things, we're not down to just like 3 major movie studios making movies now, so we have options, and they're going to have to scramble at some point and realize, it's just unfortunate we're going to have years of crappy, options, here and there, but
this is what happens.
Other stuff too. So
when the big corporations buy these properties, that's
absolutely.
Well, I think the best thing going right now. Am I echoing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you guys? Am I echoing anymore?
That's better.
Seems fine.
I just brought the volume down on my headset. I think the best thing going right now is Netflix, because a lot of Netflix shows are definitely unique and different, like the Queen's Gambit and stuff like that. Like I think they're killing it with their shows more than anything, and I think that there's a lot of shows that are on there that a lot of these studios can learn from. I mean,
they will.
I mean, how many Netflix shows? I mean, I know. Does everybody have Netflix here?
Mm-hmm.
I actually shut it off because I don't have time to watch.
Most of the shows going into it, I'm always like, this. I don't know if this is gonna be good. And some are hit or miss.
Yeah.
But some shows gleam, and you're like, wow, this is really good, and it's Netflix,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's going to be somebody that's going to come out of top eventually. They just can't keep producing sludge.
Yeah, well, I just want to point out that Fat Steven Seagal is in the chat, and him and Lorena again for featuring us on their show today, and getting us over that first milestone. So, not to be outdone, more Lucasfilm nonsense is also in the news. Can never go a week.
Paycheck.
Bob Paycheck.
Bob Paycheck. Nice.
Bob
You were just
Paycheck.
saying about, you know, how these big corporations buy up these properties and they don't know anything about them. I give you Exhibit A. This he's promoting the theme park, the Galaxy's Edge theme park, and he states that we all live within the world of canon of Star Wars, but we're not constrained by the stories that we're told to date. This is another venue for storytelling. This is another blank canvas.
Okay.
How in the world are you not constrained by the canon of the stories told to date if you live in the world of the canon of Star Wars?
That's
Like,
crazy.
this whole sentence.
It's like the whole thing is like a big contradiction.
It is. And again, John Trent at Bounding Into Comics. In another clip, Chapek says each cast member was asked to come up with their own backstory.
Oh.
Why are they here? What their origin is, what their problem is. So each cast member has created their own story. Again, just a terrible idea. If you live in the world of canon of Star Wars, how in the world are cast members just creating their own backstories? What if the backstory contradicts Star Wars canon?
What if they're from the planet Vulcan?
What if one of your writers of the High Republic gives the Vulcan salute?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious because he just doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean, this guy is just a suit and tie. They should just not let him talk about their properties. They just really shouldn't. Whoops.
It's like the most unqualified people now are in entertainment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you qualified? No, you're hired.
Yeah.
Yep. I love this property as a kid, and I know it backwards and forwards. Fuck you.
What did you used to? I sold catheters before this
Doctor
job.
what? Doctor who? What is that? You're perfect. You're hired.
I run the Luanon website. Did you guys see this?
I mean, I thought I saw this before. Is this again? This is more recent.
This is interesting. It was and I saw the video and then I went back to rip it so I could put it in and use some of it, and it's gone.
That's right.
It's been made private. So Anna, the Star Wars girl, ripped it, but I don't want to use her video.
Yeah.
I don't feel right unless she says, I'll ask her if I can, but because it's really interesting what he says. Basically, he was being, there were students asking questions. It was a video, it's like a Zoom chat with students.
Yep.
And they were asking questions. You saw it, Pete?
I did.
Yeah. But doesn't he look old?
He's been through a lot. He's had to see Star Wars get completely dismantled in front of him. I think that would age anybody.
Yeah.
Because of what they did. Yep.
Yeah. So 7th grader, here's where the video used to be. So if you click on it, man. Wonder who ordered that, Kathy Kennedy? I mean, it's not like Kathy Kennedy would be embarrassed by anything like that, Kathy. Would you, Kathy Kennedy? I mean, it's not like Kathy Kennedy's being shown up or anything like that.
Jedi 6 has the link.
Oh, do you have it really? You have a copy to it?
Fade in.
So a 7th grader named Jeremiah asked, the world has changed so much since the first Star Wars movie. How do you think the changes in the fight for racial justice will impact the Star Wars universe going forward? Because he wasn't fed that question.
That definitely sounds like a 7th grader's worded question.
Oh, clearly. Very insightful young man. Lucas responds with, I don't know. I mean, I kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off on a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was
He
good.
continues, and I think that philosophy sort of goes beyond any particular time because it's based on history. It's based on philosophy. It's based on a lot of things. According to Lucas in Star Wars, aliens and humans in all shapes and colors are not discriminated against. Only droids are. While not outright slamming Disney and Lucasfilm's treatment of Star Wars as he has in the past, Lucas doesn't seem particularly happy about his direction nonetheless. George Lucas handed Disney a treatment for a version of episodes 7, 8, and 9 with the understanding Disney would take the story in his direction. That didn't happen. Disney and Lucasfilm started from scratch with their sequels, and according to the autobiography by then CEO Bob Iger, George felt betrayed by the mouse. And that's where he famously, said on Charlie Rose that Disney are white slavers.
White slavers.
Yeah. This is by Tom Pratt at Pirates and Princesses. And yeah, if Jedi 6 has an actual working link to that, someone must have cloned it or something. I couldn't find it. I was doing Google searches and I was searching all through YouTube.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Oh,
Surprised why George hasn't gotten canceled.
Why would he?
I know, but he's a Jedi.
all right.
Oh, give it time.
Seeing this?
I know.
I haven't.
Well, all right. Let me get to that part.
Holy,
here.
that looks like one of my Zoom meetings for work.
Well, it's a Zoom meeting.
I know,
Yeah.
but I hate how they do that. It's like too much
Put it
going
in
on.
speaker view, dude. All right, here it goes.
Yeah, right.
Here it is. This is the part. So let me unmute it here. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I got Jeremiah Camacho, one of our 8th graders, who has a question
Is it
about
loud enough?
Star Wars. So
yeah,
we'll go from the sublime to the sublime.
Cool background, Jeremiah.
Well, thank you. My name is Jeremiah. I'm in the 7th grade, and I really like Star Wars. So my question for you is, the world has changed so much since the first Star Wars movie. How do you think the changes in the fights for racial justice will impact the Star Wars universe going forward?
I don't know. I mean, I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy. And I think that philosophy sort of goes beyond any particular time, because it's based on history, it's based on philosophy, it's based on a lot of things. And you know, the first 3 basically tell you how a democracy turns into a dictatorship, and you end up with a tyrant, the emperor. It's a very important now, where we are now in our political history. The other part was that in there, it's like I purposely, all of the various colors and shapes of the aliens and everything that live in that world, it's a normal situation. There's no real discrimination. The only discrimination is against robots. And we haven't really reached that period yet. And I'm sure the robots will be able to overcome it because they don't have the same feelings.
He has such an imagination.
It shows you in terms of the way politics are and the way things are, you know, how to fight those ideas. And a lot of it really has to do with overcoming fear.
Are we talking about Blade Runner here or Star Wars?
You know, the thing with Anakin is that he started out a great kid. He was very compassionate, and so the issue was is how did he turn back? How did he go to the dark side? And he went to the dark side by the Jedis are not supposed to have attachments. They can love people, they can do it, but they can't attach. That's the problem when you get in the world of fear. Once you're attached to something, then you become afraid of losing it. And when you became afraid of losing it, then you turn to the dark side and you want to hold on to it. And that's what Anakin's issue was ultimately, is he wanted to hold on to his wife, who he knew he had a premonition that she was going to die. He didn't know how to stop it. So he went to the dark side to find, in mythology and everything, they go to Hades and you talk to the devil and the devil says, this is what you do. And basically you sell your soul to the devil. When you do that, then you're afraid and you're on the dark side and you fall off the golden path of passion because you are greedy. You want to hold on to something that you love, and he didn't do it. And as a result, he turned back.
So the thing about that is, George, you're saying with the movies, they're
So
Imagine being stuck on a plane with that guy. and he's doing the whole entire thing next to you in the seat. You're just like looking at him.
I gotta grab this thing before it vanishes again. How did I not find it? I mean, I Googled like crazy trying to find it and searching all over YouTube, and guess I just didn't use the right words. I guess
Well,
I should use George Lucas.
He definitely admitted that Jedi 6 that he did lose control over the Star Wars universe. But you know what? He gave the keys away, man. He was the man behind the he was the man behind the curtain, and unfortunately, he's not the man behind the curtain anymore. There's a woman behind the curtain.
Is he upset or is he just saying, "Hey, don't blame me"?
Definitely seller's remorse.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he wants it anymore. He's old and he wants to raise his children and all that kind of stuff. But I think he regrets who he sold it to.
Right.
Well, it's always kind of funny, and I see this with bands all the time. They'll leave the band because they're like, I can't do touring. I just don't want to be in the band anymore. And then like 5 years, 6 years later, they want back in the band. It's the same thing. It's like it's like it became something that you worked on for so long, and then you're tired of it. You want to take a break, but then now you can't go back. Like, you know what I mean?
Jedi 6 rocks. You do have mad skills.
So I think he got burnt out and just was like, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore. And then what? Now 10 years later, you're like, oh wait, or how many years has it been?
Yeah, no, he doesn't want to do it anymore. I just think he's pissed who he sold it to. No, he didn't do it anymore. He's like,
Maybe, yeah. I mean, looking at your own stuff on film and how it's being trashed, that must kill you.
yeah,
A little bit of
And,
you must just
and
die.
I think he had fun with Jon Favreau would bring him on set all the time and let him consult on Mandalorian. I think he got his fix there.
Right.
Right. It's like that episode of Star Trek where Next Gen where they bring Scotty back, and he's got nothing to do, so he starts harassing engineering.
Yeah.
And then Picard tells what's his face, just give him something to do. He needs to feel important. Just give him something to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. He sold.
He did.
But I think it's fair. I mean, he's always asked these questions. He's not going out there writing long like editorials about how he's pissed off about how things have gone. I mean, he's asked questions and he gives answers.
No, but it's like kind of the thing where he left Kathy Kennedy in charge, and like they said, he was supposed to, he wrote up the outlines for the sequels, and they threw him in the trash.
Yeah, that's crap.
And he entrusted her because he thought his characters would live on because she was with him through the whole thing, right?
Right.
And Indiana Jones through the Star Wars movies, everything he produced. And the first thing she did was kill his Holy Trinity.
It was a bad investment. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, it was awful. It's awful.
And it could have been so many people, and it had to be her. That's the scary part about this.
Yep.
It could have been so many more talented directors.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, no, exactly. Jedi 6. It's once they threw his plans away and went with their own, he was clearly. That's
How did he meet her? I mean, was she on? Did she work on any of the
she
OG films?
She started as like just like a PA, as a PA, as an assistant, and then she worked her way up, and she married Frank Marshall, who was a producer. And this is a question for Jay. When we get Jay on, Jay worked with her in the early days, and he knows everything about KK.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a story here somewhere. There's got to be a documentary.
Oh, I'm sure there will be.
I've been on car rides with
The
Jay.
rise and fall.
And I've heard lots of stuff. So all the stories about her throwing tantrums and being vindictive and all these things are, not shocking to me at all. At all.
So she didn't move up the right way. She moved up her way.
She knew where to stand and who to be around.
Right. She's just, if somebody got
I'll put it this way. When I said to Jay, if you come on, would you be adverse to talking about Kathleen Kennedy? She's pretty controversial now that she runs Lucasfilm. And he said, she was my least favorite person I ever worked with.
Wow.
Jeez. But she's so Martha Stewart-y when you see her. Oh.
That's fake. So Doomcock put out a video the other day where apparently somebody at Lucasfilm leaked some of the plans that Jon Favreau had for Cara Dune, and now there's been a major setback because of Gina's firing. Cara Dune was going to be a major character in the new Boba Fett series and essentially be the star of the Rangers of the New Republic. While we can't confirm Boba Fett, it is our understanding that Corona was indeed set to star in Rangers of the New Republic series as recently as November. Been told in the past that her social media posts is about vote transparency got her in hot water with Disney brass to the point where she was a dead actress walking. Doomcock further claims that the big baddie for the next few series would have been a character named Darth Talon, which again aligns with what we've heard in the past. At this time, we cannot confirm the story that the YouTube channel details, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, no shock there, right? Now it's by WDW Pro on Pirates and Princesses. But Doomcock did another video today where someone apparently leaked him numbers from Disney Plus, and I wrote them down. These are interesting numbers. I'll start with the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. Apparently had 95 million views in 2 weeks. 95 million. WandaVision, in comparison, was averaging 7.45 million per episode.
Jeez.
So basically, I totaled that up. So the season 1 total of WandaVision, or it's the only season of WandaVision, if it was averaging 7.45, came out to about 67.05 million viewers for the season.
Okay.
That one episode of Mandalorian beat it by about 30 million.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah.
Also numbers, WandaVision before Gina Carano's firing, on night of premiere was averaging 5 million views. After her firing was down to about 2 million.
Wow.
The Raya, that movie, what is it? Raya
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Dragon something or other. It's a $30 add-on, and apparently it's only got about 3 million views so far. So it looks like they will be reducing the price of their additional screening.
Good.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view.
And then the last thing is the person. Again, this is all just rumor. Nobody can confirm this. This came off Doomcock's channel today, and apparently someone leaked this to him. Disney Plus's subscription has hit a ceiling. It's plateaued. It's down 63.9% from a few weeks ago.
Whoa.
And it says Disney will not be providing any more subscriber updates unless there's a milestone. Nothing to see here. It's what's his face? Leslie Nielsen in front of the exploding fireworks factory.
Nothing to see here. Move
Yeah.
along. Move along. Wow, that's a big number though. If it being down 60-something%, are you kidding me?
In the last few weeks.
Yeah.
But then they claimed that Falcon and Winter Soldier
Soldier.
smashed all kinds of records, and what were the numbers weren't that high though. It was only like 2 million.
And they didn't show any of the numbers for that.
Right.
I didn't feel like they promoted it as much as they did WandaVision.
Oh, I thought that it's been promoted a lot the last couple
Have
of
you?
weeks. Yeah.
I haven't.
On regular TV. On regular TV.
Okay.
They're putting WandaVision on regular TV, broadcast TV.
No commercials, like ads for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I've seen lots of ads.
Oh, well, not to be outdone. When Marvel and Lucasfilm team up, it's pure magic, right? I mean, we can agree. Who's not?
Oh,
excited for
absolutely.
Geode? I can't wait for Geode. It gets better.
I actually can't wait for Geode. I need a good laugh.
They've heard the cries. They're like, oh, they like original trilogy characters. No, we get it.
Yeah.
Why? Who cares? My question is, who gives a shit, man?
gives a
No,
shit?
I didn't even ask. I don't even want to know. I don't care.
I
let people go, man.
Fuck's sake.
Let Lando be a playboy. Let people wonder what kind of playboy he is. I never asked.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan Kasdan, Lawrence Kasdan's son.
Why did his character insult somebody?
If he viewed Lando as a pansexual, I would say yes. There's a fluidity to Donald and Billy D's portrayal of Lando's sexuality. Yes. I mean, I would have loved to have gotten more explicitly LGP alphabet character.
When he first,
certainly for that, and I love the fluidity, sort of the spectrum of sexuality that Donald appeals to, and the droids are a part of. He doesn't make any hard and fast rules. I think it's fun. I don't know where it will go.
Oh, so he's
When he-
flirting with the droids?
Yeah. Well, when he first met Leia, what did he do? My. Who
he's
are
all
you?
over her.
Yeah.
All
What have
And
we
then
here?
C-3PO is like behind him. I mean, he just turns around and ignores him. Come on. We all knew what Lando was in Empire. They don't need to change his character. It is what it is. Let it go.
I know.
Let it go. You
Well,
can't
they
make.
gotta continue to do this.
He was the shaft of the Star Wars universe.
You watch your mouth.
It's true.
Yeah, but he's talking about Shaft.
You're supposed to say I'm talking about Shaft.
I just said it.
You did it. Thank you, Pete.
But it's like they're making him out to be a terrible person because he's a playboy, like, or because he possibly could be
Where
a
did it say
womanizer.
that he's a terrible
He was a terrible person.
Or a manizer.
Because they're making him
He's
out.
an equal opportunity.
I get that.
Whatever.
But it's like I feel like they're purposely trying to do it because there's something wrong with this character because no one's ever said anything in how many years.
Oh no.
At least
They're
that's
trying to put him in the alphabet community. So
Eh. I don't think he's a strong enough character to have his own thing going on anyway. To be honest with you, he was fun. I loved him in the movies, but he's
Yeah, I agree with you.
Now this one, try to stay with me. A lot of other channels.
Sorry, I'm starting to go off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Try to stay with you.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, maybe it is a slam.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Didn't he? I don't know. Did he write that?
Oh, this one.
That's terrible. Oh my god. That's
All right.
terrible.
Rewriting Ripley podcast. So
Bring back Solo
Rewriting Ripley
Nightmares.
did this giant hit piece.
Yep.
Last week, and like, remember it was that 90-page thing or
Yep.
whatever it was.
Yep.
And they came out of nowhere. They're right around the first of the year, December, and they had a very small following, and then suddenly they did this thing. So I'm trying to make sense of all these tweets that Dead Eraser has compiled here. But so this is the first thing they did, aided by an analysis over 1 million tweets and 1,000 YouTube videos. This is the full story of alt-right radicalization in the Star Wars fandom. From designated white supremacist hate groups to YouTubers, this is how hate attacked the Star Wars sequel trilogy and won. And then, does it go over here? Basically, anyway, they got Team YouTube aboard one of EVS's videos here, where he's out looking at Star Wars toys that aren't selling, as we've talked about like 65,000 times.
Yeah.
And anyway, so they got YouTube to look at it, and they took the video down. Did that skip one? No. Okay. They took the video down. So this is the person behind it. Her name is Kate. It's on another one of these things. See, these are all clumped together, and they're hard to follow. Anyway, she is a Raylo. So for those of you who don't understand what a Raylo is, they're basically these people who are mixed up between reality and fantasy. Very mixed up. Okay. I think they need this is sad to me. I think there's like a need for some serious help here.
Yeah, like
So
they'll
what
actually
they do is-
stalk. They've actually stalked like Adam Driver and tried to cancel his actual in real life wife. Like they want to know why Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver aren't dating for real.
Well, that's what it is. It's called shipping. It's when you take the fictional characters and you want to see them get together in real life. So, like they were trying to they tried to go after his wife and all kinds of crap. So they're mental. So anyway, this woman says the Star Wars franchise has become the battleground for the ongoing culture wars, and Disney isn't educated enough to know that they let it happen. Anyway, Valkyrie Art and I will be discussing this in a few weeks, backed by our 1 million tweets and 1K YouTube videos. These grifters will not win this one. And here they are, just arrived at the powder room in LA. The after party starts now. Rise of the Raylos. So here's like, hey, we're trying to get EVS off of YouTube. YouTube is currently paying
Luck with
attention. You notice, watch her handles change to Disney sycophant, like right there. Like you're just basically saying right there that like I'm just a mindless consumer, and I'll clap for anything Disney does, and I have no sense of critical skills whatsoever. Please report the video and the screenshot. If you click to the video and you can add more details, timestamp is 4249. So YouTube actually went and did it. They pulled the video. Now she's going for the entire channel. Now take down the entire channel.
Oh, because of a fucking movie.
Gets better. These two tweets from her are really scary. This shows what's going on in her brain. I have only mentally allowed myself to break from Star Wars for about a week, and realizing the damage that fandom has done to my psyche has been interesting. It is really insanely violent, toxic, and depressing. I love my oomphs, but I just want to be in a space where I'm not constantly fearing for my mental health, and in some cases, my life. These people are Gamergate. These people are Comicsgate. If you don't know that, consider yourself lucky. Also think about being informed before you create some made-up story from someone who's creating make-up stories.
Made-up story.
Boy, can you imagine criticizing this person for doing a bad job?
Really? She's Wiccan. I did not know that. Wow. Yeah, I know. She's going.
Oh, yeah. I knew that part, yeah.
So
you
there's
didn't.
more.
Yeah, I mean,
There's more. Oh yeah, here's
Right.
Katie McCourt. She's Katie McCourt. So last year, Lucasfilm social media manager put out a call for data analysts to help her make the fandom better. She was introed to Katie and made connections with the other SJW data scientists who tried to deplatform the fandom menace off of YouTube. This is all very suspect. So here it is. Hi, Twitter. This is the woman who runs the Star Wars Twitter account. Now, I don't know if she still does, but she might be the one member who tweeted the support of Christina Ariel after
yes.
shit.
Right.
Yeah. Once the dots start to connect, you're like, oh, this all starts to make sense, right? Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
Hi, Twitter. Do I have any academics that follow me on here who are experts in fandom and particularly fandoms in relation to digital culture online? Would love to chat with you. Thanks. Just trying to turn these into action items so we can try to help make things better on my end. Really would welcome the input of non-cis white men and women so we can make this a better fandom for everyone. So if you're a straight white man or a straight white woman, you are DQ'd. Not allowed into their little club.
What is she?
She runs the social media for Star Wars.
No, but is she a white woman?
Yes.
She's a white woman, but I
Oh, maybe she's not
probably
straight.
You're not
Probably
exclusive,
not.
but I am because I work for Disney.
So she gets introduced to, here she is, Katie. Hi, Michelle. Happy to talk.
Oh, jeepers.
Yeah. So then they start connecting these academics to this thing. Hey, appreciate the shout out. I'm not an academic, just a data analyst. Thank you for thinking of me, though. So then they get. This is unbelievable.
It sounds like a horror show.
The internet is a shit house, man. All right, so you
Space
get
Wizard
Morton
movie.
Bay. Morton
Twitter
Bay,
is-
PhD. You know, this is what they want to eliminate student debt and make us taxpayers pay for student debt when you got professors like this.
Yeah.
Here's my final paper, my final draft paper on the politicization. I can't.
You got it. You were about to say it.
Politicization of Star Wars fandom and The Last Jedi accepted for pub. In First Monday, it shows 50% of criticism directed at Rian Johnson was political trolling. Some of it likely from Russia.
Wow.
Also shows haters. This
That's
is what
funny.
this is what their
This guy's
college
getting
professors
paid.
are doing.
Yep.
And here's another one. Associate professor at the University of Rochester. I analyzed Star Wars Twitter. Really? Really? I'm not paying any student debt. If this is what's being taught in college, they can pay their own debt. For the Washington Post's Monkey Cage blog, you belong in one. People send more hate speech to female fans and use more hate speech and offensive language to talk about Rose Tico than any other Star Wars topics. And then there's
No
our
proof,
friend
though.
Katie. Yeah, right. Exactly. No proof. That's it. Fat Steven is. Oh no, Jedi 6 has canceled you. You're
Oh
done.
man,
Bye,
I
Steve.
ask a lot of questions. I like to know things. I like to try to figure out things.
Yeah, wonder.
If you're a woman,
I'm
who
never gonna stop
participated in online fandom before, you probably know this story. For everyone else, here's a summary of what it's like: 4 years of data, 400 screenshots, 500,000 data points, and 9,000 words nobody should ever have to write.
And they
Katie,
shouldn't have.
good job. Gets better. Lucasfilm executive Pablo Hidalgo started rewriting Ripley after she launched mass flag attacks. Pablo follows multiple SJWs trying to destroy the fandom menace. How much involvement does Lucasfilm have in these efforts to silence their critics? So they joined December 2020, and they get a huge signal boost by 2 Lucasfilm employees. Or, Justin Bolger's a contractor, but Pablo's a Lucasfilm employee. Well, how do they find this like brand new podcast out of nowhere and decide to, signal boost it? Last year, Katie wrote her first Star Wars hit piece about me. It had 10,000 retweets, 50,000 likes. Dozens of Lucasfilm employees were sharing it. Bethany Lasina covered it in the Washington Post, lying about posts on Twitter. Delete your name when you write hit pieces about me, Katie. I don't want to keep talking about this, but we'll address the lies. You attack me and others for exposing Raylo toxicity, harassing Star Wars cast and crew members, including their families. Your name is all over your Medium and Twitter, and you started lying for clicks. Stop lying. Yeah, and she got all upset over the weekend because she said that she got doxxed by the Quartering and by Data Racer, which exposed her identity, but she'd already exposed herself. she left the trail of breadcrumbs. So, and then I saw the quartering get into her here. You've chosen war, Katie. This is a huge mistake. This was 8 hours ago.
Wow.
She's just doubling and tripling down. She's not well. And if you look at her her handle today, well-known cat lady, Blue Anon. So there goes her legitimacy out the window. So, yeah. Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yeah. So everybody remembered the Pablo Hidalgo when Star Wars Theory, who has like the biggest Star Wars YouTube channel and is also very complimentary of Disney Star Wars, by the way. You know, got emotional when Luke Skywalker returned and then was attacked by Pablo Hidalgo. So this is yeah. Yes. You're a master researcher. Let's throw it down. So it's unbelievable, and I just it's amazing that this is all over a freaking movie.
I mean, she admits that her mental health is dependent on Star Wars. So isn't that enough? Just
well, first of all, how old is she? This woman? Or
I think she's like 30.
That's bad.
That's bad. That's like the mind of a teenager.
Yeah. She's a full-grown adult.
Younger, but
And on top of it, she doesn't sound like the type of person that takes criticism very well, and that's dangerous.
Yeah.
No. It's it's so bizarre, and it's really kind of hard to follow. And yes, internet gas is right.
Indeed.
Whatever happened to Daniel Kibblesmith?
I mean,
nice.
If I mean, Keith, you have a daughter. Does your daughter ever watch the new movies? Is she a fan of?
She doesn't really like Star Wars.
No. So
Her
she's
brother
not.
likes Star Wars.
Okay, so she's not a big Rey fan. You grew up kind of. Yeah.
No.
I'm trying to think of any young woman who's been inspired by Rey, her character. I mean, there probably is. I just Wonder Woman's probably a lot more of an
that's what I
inspiration.
want to show
right?
my nieces. That's the
Right. Wonder
inspiration I want
Woman's
them to
probably
have.
hot right now, right?
I just want to throw this up. This just
Yeah,
cross.
I just saw that. Just popped up.
That's sad.
That sucks.
Aw. It's been in everything.
Complications of bypass surgery.
Aw.
That sucks.
How old was it? 87?
87.
Yeah.
He was the grandpa on Goldberg's.
Yeah.
And everything else. I mean, my
Yeah,
God.
I know. He's been in so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bummer, man. Just another piece of my childhood chipped away.
Well, yeah, it's because we're getting old. The people that were on TV when we were kids are
exactly.
getting old. So it's bound to
For
happen.
yourself. I'm not getting any older. You guys are
true.
aging around me.
It's true.
No, I'm convinced Stacy doesn't age. She looks like the same from when I went to
you
college
do.
with her.
I know. I only got one story left, then we can go around the horn with recommendations and get the shiz out of here. This one's kind of fun.
Oh.
Yeah, I like to find something fun after all that shit we just trudged through. That was a lot of shit this week.
That was a lot of shit.
It was awful.
I only stepped
between
halfway
Warner
through
Brothers
it
and
tonight.
Lucasfilm trying to see who can be the worst.
Mm.
One of the relating has the profile pic of what I'm most positive is Hidalgo's cat. The pseudonym. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Lucasfilm was funding all that research and whatnot.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Sounds like something Kathy would do. Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest, April 9th. Virtual event, of course, at 11 a.m. Eastern. Will be hosted by Sci-Fi Wire on-air correspondent, writer, and producer Jackie Jennings, and available to watch exclusively on the Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest page. They're going to announce some new toys, I guess.
Man, every time I try to get on Pulse, man, it's like buying concert tickets. You got to get there.
I know.
Or they go.
I know. And there was no New York Toy Fair, this year, which sucked. I was so looking forward to that. It was usually in February, so now I got to wait till next February. That stinks. They're going to have some guest appearances and blah, 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 whatever. But So there'll be a new collection of Fortnite toys. There will be new Transformers, War for Cybertron, War for Cybertron trilogy. I couldn't get through that. Did you watch any of that?
I tried watching it. I was just.
I couldn't get through it either. Yeah, I couldn't get through it either, just like you.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
Really?
You know,
I tried.
I thought it'd be cool that it was like, the 1984 Gen 1 designs, but in 3D, but it just didn't work.
It didn't.
It was
work
dull.
for me.
Maybe it was because the voice.
Okay, Pat Steven, if you liked it,
Steven liked it.
Oh, okay.
Good on you.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to
entertainment is subjective. Good on you, man.
I'll have to try again.
Oh no, Deadline's like the official de facto Hollywood Reporter now. It's just that like the trades are there to protect, like they're there to, like Variety and Hollywood Distorter and Deadliner. They're there just basically to report Hollywood news, but kind of always keep it. Hollywood's great. Hollywood's glamorous. They can do no wrong. But it's legit news. It's just they're never gonna. I don't think they'll report too many bad things unless they kind of have to, like a Harvey Weinstein level bad thing. Okay, maybe I'll have to try it again. I don't know. Maybe I just watching it late at night. I'm just not. Power Rangers. So we're gonna get some new Power Rangers toys. If you're into that, G.I. Joe, Jude. How many G.I. Joes do you have? Like 500?
Funny thing. Funny you should ask. I actually have a closet that I was cleaning out a couple weeks ago with 4 boxes filled with G.I. Joes that I haven't seen in probably about 10 years.
Yeah.
Not old.
Yeah. So I have a shitload, but I don't have them out there in a box. So
I remember you had them on that big shelf, and it was.
Oh
awesome.
yeah, I went nuts for a while. In fact, I went so nuts I was like going to different places. Like I went to a couple of G.I. Joe small toy conventions and was really into buying them. Like after a while, I kept thinking to myself, "What is wrong with me? Why am I going down this rabbit hole?"
Was it a good place to meet ladies?
No.
Casey, behave.
Well, maybe you could. You never know.
Do you have the photo still?
I'm
dude?
just playing with you.
You know what? I think
It was a good place to meet Raylos.
Look at this,
Oh man,
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to get exclusives. I was actually going and driving like 4 hours to a small little G.I. Joe convention only because they had an exclusive they were offering at the door. So
Do
if
you have
didn't
stuff
go,
that they would want though
This
too?
is-
Maybe. Do you like?
I have
trade
some stuff that's
or-
probably worth a lot of money. I actually had some really nice G.I. Joe stuff when I was a kid. I had the aircraft carrier my mom actually bought me when I was a kid.
Wow.
The thing was
Oh,
huge, and I had to put it in the garage because we just didn't have
wow.
room for it. And I ended up giving it away, and I didn't know how much. Like right now, if you were to get a completed aircraft carrier, you can get like 3,000 or 4,000 out of them.
Wow.
If they're in good shape. And I remember giving it to somebody, and they used the deck of the aircraft carrier as a skateboard ramp.
Yikes.
Oh man.
Yeah, all that money just.
This is the one you're going to want, though. You want the Snake Eyes from the upcoming feature film. It's going to be introduced by Henry Golding himself.
I got way too into it.
There's a listing on eBay. Just the box for the USS Flag, $2,000.
Yeah,
just for the box. For the
Who
empty
has
box.
the box
You always save the box.
Yeah.
of
Always.
something that big though?
Yeah.
I had a bunch of old vehicles
Always
too,
save the box.
and my mom I had them in a box in the attic, and my mom threw them all out, and they're worth hundreds. So
It's because everybody else's moms throw them out too, and that's what there's only so many.
yeah, but
There's-
once you find out what it's worth now,
well, it's
you're
only
like,
worth something now because there aren't that many because everybody
Yeah,
else's
I
moms
know.
throw
Right.
them away.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
and who would have thought like the nostalgic would kick in when you become an adult? Like all of a sudden now the adults are trying to buy back their collection when
I
they're
know.
kids.
Beanie Babies. When are those going to start being worth something?
I had the entire line of the Batman 89 stuff. I had everything. All unopened, and I got impatient and sold them for like next to nothing. And
Ugh.
I know.
Yeah.
So Marvel's putting out a True Believers line, Marvel Legends action figures, and then Star Wars, more Black Series toys.
Mm-hmm. They've kind of gone downhill a little bit now because they're releasing a lot of stuff from the books and a lot of the cartoons and the video games now, and that stuff it's very niche. There's not a large group of people. I mean, they have a lot of characters they need to release before this, but
yeah, I'm with you. Actually, I got to show you something real quick, Chief.
I'm waiting for a Lobot. I haven't seen a Lobot yet.
I wasn't going to get this, but we were talking about White Knight last week.
Oh.
So I had to do it. Jack Napier, and then
that's awesome.
They give you the Joker head too.
Oh, funny.
Wow.
That's
Cool.
awesome. Where'd you get that?
Target.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I go to the toy aisle. It's ridiculous. Like anytime I go to a Walmart or Target, that's the first thing I do is go to the toy aisle. Even if I'm not going to buy anything, I just go and I'll pull them off the pegs and look at them for a while. You know, it's so weird. Like all the Ghostbuster stuff came out, and I was like I was like, no, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. But they're cool.
You go to the girls' aisle first.
Which
Barbies are worth a lot of money too. Stacey, did you have My Little Pony?
No, that's after my time.
Gave them away.
That's after your time?
Oh, gave
Yeah.
them away.
So what was your time? What was the toy?
Barbies. I had Barbies. A Cabbage Patch Kid. I just bought my niece one for her birthday.
Strawberry shortcake?
But no, I was a little bit. I wasn't really into strawberry shortcake.
What are girl toys now, Edson and Keith? What are girls into now? They have a toy line for them now? Like
my daughter's
My niece is 8 and she loves JoJo Siwa.
I have no clue what that is.
I have a funny
She's a
story
YouTube
about
star.
JoJo. I have a funny story about JoJo Siwa.
You do.
Okay, I looked that up. What
My
is it?
daughter's kindergarten teacher quit in the middle of the school year to go be the publicist for JoJo Siwa.
Really? She's old now. Like she's like really tall too, I guess.
What is this?
Yeah, my niece loves her, man. I actually just got her a Cabbage Patch doll that's a JoJo.
Is
Siwa
she
Cabbage Patch
Nickelodeon?
for her birthday.
Oh, she's Nickelodeon.
YouTube. Isn't this just YouTube?
Yeah, she
Oh.
YouTube.
Everything's YouTube.
My daughter's into dinosaurs and video games.
Cool.
Like the toys she either wants sea creatures, dinosaurs, zoo creatures,
She's
or
like sciencey.
animals. Or
What-
she's
wasn't there-
Science.
And yeah, like science kits. Like she likes.
That's
you know,
cool. There's
she
so
got-
many cool things out there now
Yeah,
for that stuff, like little experiments and like a lot of STEM stuff.
yeah. She's just the little female version of me.
That's cool.
She is. Yeah.
My younger niece just started getting into Marvel, so we watched Ant-Man when I watched them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think she'll start to get into that stuff more, like because of me. But right now, she's really into what she's into.
Mm.
Oh,
We have
did
the
they,
Jurassic World and all that stuff. So.
I just saw this before we came on. Did anyone see the last Kong versus Godzilla trailer with Mechagodzilla?
Yes.
I didn't
No,
see
I
it
haven't
yet.
seen it
I
yet. I
have
heard it
not
was
seen
good.
it.
Yes,
yet.
I have the
He
Chinese
actually
trailer.
appears. Yeah, he actually appears.
Yes,
on it.
I did.
Yeah, good.
No.
I thought you would have.
I don't want. I'm gonna wait.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, I don't want all the spoilers.
Yeah, but I.
All right, I'll keep my mouth shut. But
I
oh
understand.
boy, oh boy.
I understand what you're saying. Yep.
Oh, Fat Steven sent another one. Hang on, let me.
Oh, it's in the eye of Godzilla.
No.
I want
Oh no! Oh.
Oh, Fat Steven, they've no, not. We're not talking some little reflection here. We're talking full-on reveal.
How do I?
That sounds dirty.
Yeah, I don't want to see a full-on reveal. I want to see the reveal when I get.
I need
Yeah,
to.
that's fine. That's
I need.
fine.
I need to show Pete this. You ready?
What?
Hit me.
Go ahead, Keith.
Oh, where's your screen? Hang on, I don't see it. Did you share?
Yeah,
Share screen. Yeah.
it's in the lobby there.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's right there. I see it.
That's
Oh, I
my-
see it.
That's my screen. I don't see
No,
it.
right here. It says you can. You want me to add it?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Stacey.
down. Oh, I had to scroll.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Okay.
You ready? You'll love this.
Oh man!
No, it gets better. It gets better. It gets better.
Oh,
That's
geez.
hilarious.
Wow,
Yikes!
that's pretty well done.
Wait, it gets better.
Oh
It gets
my god!
It gets a lot better.
Jeez.
It's a cute kitty. You.
Man,
Is that I has
Watch, watch, watch.
That's good. Whoa.
Oh.
The things you do in green screen.
It should eat the Stranger Things kid.
Straight. Hey, you leave Elle alone.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Owl kitty.
Yeah, it's the guy see green screens the cat into all kinds of trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's pretty good.
That's good.
That's hilarious.
The only thing that would have been better is at the end if the cat says "I has cheeseburger."
Well,
Nobody
the actual
knows
trailer does have Stacy. What's Stacy's favorite line going to be in the movie? I believe.
What's that?
Kong bows to no one.
Oh.
Yeah, well, neither does Godzilla, so we have a
I know.
problem.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Let's go around the horn with recommendations. Does anybody have any? Start with you, Jude.
So my mom's been here for almost, well, yeah, tomorrow. No, maybe it's been past a week.
Mhm.
So my mom's really into this show that I didn't really know too much about. It's called Mom. Anybody watch this? What?
I know what it is. I've never watched it.
It's a kind of a comedy about actually
Ferris.
about a bunch of alcoholics.
Oh.
And they meet every episode at a Alcoholic
Cheers.
Anonymous meeting. And it's kind of a funny comedy thing, but I've been watching it with my mom and it's kind of a bonding thing between us, but it's a pretty decent show.
Yeah.
That's all I've been watching.
Wow.
I thought you were watching Schitt's Creek. What happened to Schitt's Creek?
I did watch Schitt's Creek, which you know what? Now I know why so many people like that show. I got through the first season, and it is good. I got to return to it. But my mom she really wanted to watch Mom because she watches it when she's at home.
Mhm.
So I said I'll put on anything. It's her. I told her you have free reign of late night TV, so that's what she wants to watch.
There you go.
That's is that on Prime? I can't keep these straight. Invincible's on Prime, right?
Prime, Amazon Prime. Yeah, Fat Steven. I'm looking forward to that one.
Friday 3.
Yep.
So she'll be leaving Thursday. So after that, I'll probably resume my nerdy TV shows.
All right, Pete. That would be you, Pete.
Motion picture.
That would be me. That would be me. That's why I'm holding up.
Oh,
I'm holding up the director's edition of Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Sorry, I didn't see it. I was looking away.
So, the available only on DVD. The not on Blu-ray. We've got the special edition directed by Robert Wise of Star Trek: The Motion Picture from '79. So I know that you did a review of this not too long ago, Keith.
I did on Pint of Comics with our good friend John Amenta and Lloyd Green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been. This is probably the most. This is definitely the headiest of the Star Trek movies, and I think it's the director's edition is probably one of my favorite of the 13 movies that are out.
Yeah.
I have to say the special effects to this day, I think they're great.
Douglas Trumbull.
Yeah, I mean they hold up well. They're not that bad for what they were for that era. Not bad at all.
Well, and all the additional stuff was done by Darren Doctorman, who is the co-host of the Inglorious Treksperts podcast, and that comes in when it's my turn to talk, but it's not my turn to talk right now. It would be Stacy's turn.
Oh. I don't really have anything to recommend. I just saw today, though, that Black Widow got pushed off again until July.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Jeez, that thing's never gonna.
I'm telling you. One thing I did, I watched an old movie this weekend, Beverly Hills Cop.
Nice.
I love
And I have to tell you, though, it's kind of like when you watch an old movie and the pacing's real slow, because we're used to kind of like movies now, and oh my God, they play that dun, 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 like throughout the entire movie. It is bizarre, and the shooting sounds of the guns is like so ridiculous. Like I can't believe this. Like oh my, it's like pew pew. It's like everything's ricocheting the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like so my God. It's like
That's hilarious.
So funny to watch older movies that like it's just. kind of puts like we are so spoiled in this day and age with the sound effects and computer generated stuff and all that. Like it just reminds you, like, even if something's kind of shitty, like there's always usually something decent about it. I mean, compared to
Best
back in the
action
day.
movies. Best action movies are in the 80s. Every single time I watch Die Hard or any of those movies,
Die Hard holds up, I think, a little bit better, but the gunshot sounds were just, it's just too much.
Well, there always had to be a car explosion in an action 80s
Oh,
movie.
yes.
Always a
absolutely.
car that's flipped over or exploding.
Mhm. We were watching Speed again recently, and it's like, why is it crashing through the plane? Because there needs to be an explosion. That's why the boss has to crash the plane.
Yep.
So it is.
Beverly Hills Cop's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it in a really long time, and
Second one's good too.
I didn't
like
even
the second one.
remember it, and it's just
Second one's not bad. Third one is a disaster.
Yeah, that's when it gets off the rails.
Yeah. Edson, what do you got for us, man?
Oh, of course, because
is
something's
it?
coming up.
Oh,
Dr.
Goldfinger?
Dr. No.
Dr. No.
Yeah. Sorry, bad picture. It always amazes me that I'm watching this movie and it's like he's been Bond forever. The way he acts, it's like he's done this forever. It's like that's his first Bond movie, and it's like
I know.
The way he composes himself, it's always like he's been doing this forever. It's like,
Yeah, really. The scene where he's in the room when he's waiting and the guy comes in with the silencer and shoots.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
Oh yeah, because he's like, he knows he's gonna come up and he's just playing cards, just waiting for him.
Yes, exactly.
So good. And the tarantula one, the scene, it always gets me. It looks so real the way he reacts to that tarantula walking up.
Probably was real.
Mm.
Dr. No Finger.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I as you know, I'm a huge Bond fan. So it's funny that you picked Dr. No as your recommendation, because my recommendation, because it's like the only thing I haven't watched anything this week except the Snyder cut with you guys, is this Friday.
Of course.
This Friday we're going to review Dr. No.
Yep.
Actually, this is the wrong one. Did I take it out of here? I did. That's right. Give me a second here.
But Dr. Yes.
I was going to say that.
Dr. Maybe?
I'm being a boomer here. Hang on.
Boomer.
Doctor, I cannot decide.
Yeah.
Maybe soon.
Keep talking
Doctor,
about
maybe
Dr.
soon.
No while I find this.
Doctor.
Dr. Maybe?
Dr. Maybe.
Now I can't find it because I'm all flustered. You guys freaked me out.
Dr. Will C. A classic mom.
There it is. I
Will
got it.
C.
Dr. No?
He means no. Will C
Dr.
means
Honey
no.
Rider.
No means no. That's right.
This
Will
is
C
what I
means no.
So
There you go.
we decided we're going to do a new series, Countdown to 60 Years of 007. I wish I got the idea 24 months in advance so we could count down all 24 once a month, but we'll have to compress time a little bit. We're going to start Friday night, this coming Friday, March 26th at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And our guest is Mark A. Altman, author of Nobody Does It Better, The Complete Oral History of James Bond, and co-host of the Inglorious Treksperts podcast with Darren Doctorman, who did the effects on the Robert Wise cut of Star Trek: The Motion Picture. So there's the tie back, Pete. There you have it. This is a small.
And I complimented his
actually,
work.
Mark and Robert Meyer Burnett made a little movie called Free Enterprise a few years ago together. So there's all
Cool. Worlds colliding.
Big
man.
worlds collide.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey ball of stuff.
That's true. And RMB is often on the Inglorious Treksperts podcast as a guest as well. So yes, I'm trying to get RMB to do a James Bond with us. So
we have time.
If he has time.
Yeah. No, I'm saying we have time to get. I mean, there's still going to be.
Oh God, I know.
So hopefully we
I just signed somebody up for Live and Let Die, and I'm thinking that's probably going to be in like August. You know. So,
yeah.
December.
Don't forget me when Moonraker drops.
Moonraker, yep.
I know.
I want to be on that review.
I know. So I'm looking forward to this. I've got a little homework to do. I got to rewatch Dr. No for the 6,050th time. and get all our stuff together and be ready to go. So,
yep.
All right. I guess that's that for that. Pete?
Don't you want to do the housekeeping
Find
there?
us on the.
Find us on the.
GeekTime.
See, you don't need me. There's that, and 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 that.
You should let you should let Stacy do that.
Gee, it's not as exciting as when Stacy did it. Yeah.
I don't know
Like a
what's
monkey
going
puts your
on.
button. Is it this
So,
one?
no, it was good. It was.
You
great.
can find us on all the social media with all the toxic haters and the Raylos and all the weirdos at GeekTime.net. You can find us at our outdated website, which I need to tend to, at geektimenetwork.com. You can email us at geektimenet@gmail.com if you're kind of a boomer and that's the way you prefer to communicate. Please subscribe to the channel. And thanks again to Lorena Creole and Fat Steven Seagal for featuring us on their channel and getting us past our first little milestone of 250 subs. It's going to be this little journey. This is going to be the fun time, the beginning, the journey, the climb. That's going to be the right. Isn't this the part we're supposed to enjoy?
This is supposed to be fun, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yes. So, all right. Now I think it's your turn, Pete. It's your time to shine.
Now I can do it?
Now you
Great.
can do it.
See you next Tuesday.
If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified anytime someone from our show drops new content here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?